Oh, yeah, what's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider. I'm alive, and I'm coming to you with a new Raider Football Talk, where hopefully every other Friday we come to you and we talk our Raiders and what's going on in this 2022 Weird AF season. I want to remind you guys, please hit that thumbs up, please hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for when and if I do go live. This is Raider Football Talk. We do got the rant hotline. Please call the rant hotline. Can't even see it. 818-8110-RANT. Leave your messages because we only have one this week. But again, I want you guys to leave your thoughts on the Raiders to be on a future show. We got Panic online, my boy Nikhil, Carlos Garleando, Pirate 1975. Apparently he's my moderator. I should make Nikhil a moderator as well, and I will try to do that soon, but I don't have it on screen. I'm looking at a different screen. I'll explain later. Johnny Sosa, BAL, D Raider, Hey Angel, what's up? AllEyesOnG.com. We got all my regulars online. You do have to be subbed for at least 10 minutes before you could chime in the chat room. So hit that subscribe button. And we are going to have a Patreon and some hidden members-only shows coming up. I'll discuss that maybe next week because, you know, that's what we got to do. Once again, this is Raider Football Talk. I'm your host, Mikey Raider. We're going to talk Raiders. We're going to get into it. We got a great show upcoming. This is the little bit of an intro. And thanks, guys, for coming online on this Friday at 4 o'clock. Supposed to do it at 5, 6, or 7. But I've been waking up at 5 a.m. lately, and I go to sleep at like 8 o'clock. I'm an old man with my health issues and my heart disease and everything else is going wrong with me. But I'm here. We're good. I love you all. And we got a lot to talk about on today's show. We got a lot. And I will try to chime in with the audience as best as I can. But you know me. I'm like an actor. I put together a script. I try to put a show together. And I focus. I focus like a rock. All right? Please hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications when I go live, and we are going to start the show in about 30 seconds. Sick With It is online. What's good, Mikey? Thank God you're back. These news channels, man, there's a lot of Raider channels. I love them all. They're all awesome. I have issues with everybody, even myself. But I'm very proud. But, man, we got some quality artwork and graphics and editing skills, and woo, these young whippersnappers have passed me by. It's going to be hard to make even a couple of dollars on YouTube anymore. But that's why I'm going to go to memberships. I'm going to make a Patreon, have some hidden videos, because it sounds really stupid, but if I do one of these videos all the time, like even one a day, if I was able to, I'll probably make $5 a video. I think it's like $4 or $5 per 1,500 views. So if I get 1,500 views in a video, I probably make $5 on YouTube. So times 7 videos a week, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, $35 a week making YouTube videos. But they have to get at least 1,500 or 2,000 views to make like $5. So if I do memberships on Patreon or something where you become a member for like $1 or $2, maybe I get 20, 30 subscribers a month, and I've added 30 or 40, $50 through Patreon or memberships, and you know, I added $40 a month or something. So it helps. There is super chat donations if you guys feel free to do it. I don't ask for you because I understand how hard it is to come across money. But if you feel inclined, no problem. I love you guys. And let's do it. Let's get into the show. We're going to redo the intro, and then we're going to talk some Raiders. Oh, Uncharted Raider, what'd you say? I missed Mikey's pregame fix. Yeah, I had to do a lot of editing and green or blue screen work, and I had the room in my house, but in my little studio apartment and with my health and my energy, and I've lost passion for life. It's a long story. It's really hard for me to do a lot of videos. Hopefully I can at least do one a week moving forward for you guys. I love you all. Let's get into it, and let's start the show officially. Thanks for chiming in. It's your boy Mikey Raider coming to you with my first official in-season Raider Football Talk. That's right, where we talk Raiders and football. Just want to remind you guys, I will hopefully have a Raider Football Talk every second Friday, meaning every 2 weeks. And we will update ourselves on the season, what's going on. We're going to talk some drama because there's been a lot of drama lately into week 4 with the Broncos coming up. And it's a doozy. This is a doozy show. This is a drama-filled show. We want to remind everybody, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications for when I do go live. And if you feel inclined, I am now on YouTube's partner program again after the lawsuits and all that other stuff from many years ago. I somehow became a partner again on YouTube, so now I can get super chats, I can earn some income, I can do some stuff. And speaking of income, we just got my boy Pirate in 1975 donating to this channel. Biggest mistake was letting Bisaccia go. Guys wanted to play for him, and it showed. This 0-3 start is not excusable. Tom Brady made McDumbass famous. Not McDaniels, McDumbass. Not the other way around. Hopefully Mark fires this fraud soon. Some strong words from Pirate 1975. We're going to get into that subject a lot in this show. Once again, congratulate me. I'm a partner again on YouTube. I can make $5 a week, maybe $20 a month. But thank you guys for all your support, and I'm proud to be back. All right, we got a big show for you guys today. We're gonna get into some hidden messages. Derek Carr is sending some hidden messages, and we're gonna try to decode them with my conspiracy mind. Derek Carr is truly sending with his words and verbally some hidden messages. Also, we're going to talk about McDumbass, according to Pirate 1975. We're going to talk about his play calling and how they're kind of, in the new age term, sus. That's going to be a big issue that we're going to talk about in this show. Also, Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, hidden messages. Will Devontae get the ball? Who's being targeted? His play calling, what they're saying in press conferences. There's some hidden issues. Not only hidden messages, there's some hidden issues between Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr. Is the conspiracy going to reveal itself? Maybe it will on today's show. We're going to discuss that and more. All right, let me move this thing up, down. We're also going to have a prediction of the schedule coming up. See if we can climb back into the good graces. So at the end of the show, we're going to have a prediction. And I'm going to be brutally honest, because now we know how the team looks. And now we know. I did a prediction a long time ago, but now we know. So you about to know, because we're going to know. And yeah, I'm going to be brutally honest. Also, Josh Jacobs Is there a trade incoming? Can it be so? For the best running back on our team? And Josh McDumbash? Is there a trade incoming? We're going to discuss that in just a few seconds. Once again, this is Raider Football Talk. I'm your host, Mikey Raider. Please hit up that hotline. Let us know your thoughts about the Raiders to be on a future show. Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. I got to do all that shit. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for the algorithm. Shut up. Shut up. Basically, what we're all saying is, figure out a way for YouTube to give me some extra dollars and more views and subscribers. All right, I didn't do a video and I haven't showed you guys, but I make a Raider recipe every year. I did one on draft day this year. I had my Miller High Life. And I did a Raider recipe. But I didn't film the video. Again, I've been having some health struggles and just lost a lot of passion. But I made bean vegetarian tostadas with lettuce, cheese, and beans, and refried black and refried beans. Black beans, refried, and refried pinto beans. It's really good. And it had a little bit of enchilada sauce I put on the top. And I only pictured 5, but my fat ass ate about 12 of them. So, but that was my Raider recipe. I want you guys to name it. I always like to come up with a Raider name. I didn't figure out a Raider name for the tostadas. Should we call it the McDumbash-stadas? the Devontae stadas? I think that's what I wanted to call them. Something with Devontae Adams. The Devontae stadas, the Devonta stadas, the Devonta touchdown stadas. You guys give me a name during this show for this Raider recipe that I made this year, and that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool to find out what you think of the Raider recipe. We got another super chat. Boy, the blessings are coming in. Demi by Nature. That's a cool name. The Thread former Donkey player, Tyler Columbus, had a lot to say about McDaniels, and it really makes me wonder how much he's learned. Wow, I gotta look that up, Demi by Nature. I gotta look that up. Thank you for the super chat. Keep them coming. And again, name this. Okay, so we got Toast. Hey Angel said Toast Adams. Unknown Raider guy said Radio Street Tacos. Circus Raider said vegan tasteadas. Uncharted Raider, the Allegiant Stadiums. Does that go with tostadas? Maybe, I don't know. Estadiums? I don't know. Just Tiestadas, baby. Hey, Mikey, make a channel where you get drunk like Chat Sports. Yeah, don't get me started on that shit. Yeah, don't get me started. I will throw a rant out and everybody will get mad at me. Then there'll be Raider video maker drama. But yeah, I mean, some of you Raider fans, I'm not saying you, the proverbial you, some of y'all give these dudes like $1,000 to drink beer from a boot. Like they ask for super chat. Give me 300, and I'll drink beer from a boot. Then they drink, and then somebody will give them, like literally, I watched a couple of shows, and then somebody will give them like $300 in super chat. Then they'll say, oh, who could one-up him? Who could show they're a real Raider fan? Who could one-up them with $400? Who could one-up them with $400? And then people fucking do it. They, like in one video in week 1, I think they got at least 1,500. I may be overplaying. It might have been 12. But like $1,200 in super chat that I counted. I may be wrong, I may be right, but still, it's a lot of fucking money to pay other people to get drunk. That is some weird I pay webcam girls. Okay? Because they do some other stuff. But a lot of Raider fans, or Mitchell Wrens, or Chat Sports, they're paying them to get drunk. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? I understand if you want to pay them, if you call that entertainment, and you're saying they're entertainers and you're paying for the entertainment, so be it. But again, with Raiders and being drunk, it's not a good look. It's not a good optic. I'm just saying. That's from my, just from my perspective. That's why I don't like to do it on shows or on video like some others, and it just it feels dirty to me. But it's, I can't hate the player. I gotta hate the game. They're getting paid. They're getting super chat. They're having a good time. They're getting drunk. So be it. Congratulations. Y'all are making some good super chat money off the hard working backs of Raider fans, Raider Nation. And, paying somebody else to get drunk is so stupid. It's like the game Pong, or what is it with the little ping pong balls and the cups of beer? Here's what's funny about that game. You guys got me on a rant. You see what you do, you motherfuckers? Fucking love y'all, but fuck you. You get me on a rant. That's what happens when Mikey's feeling good. You get me on a rant. What's that game where they throw the ping pongs and then if they get it, you drink it? So you're facing your opponent with that ping pong game. That drinking ping pong game. And here's the funny thing is, you're throwing the ping pong ball to go into the cup. Then if it goes into the cup, they get to drink. Aren't you playing that game to drink? So you gotta hope they're good at playing the pong ball game so they can get it in your cup so you can finally fucking drink. If you get it in their cup, I should be able to drink. Bam! Now you're hoping they're good at the game with skills and agility so you can get fucking drunk in the game that you wanted to get drunk on. It makes no sense to me. Then on top of that, the ping pong balls fall everywhere. Then you got to run around and find them. Then you got to hope they get it in the cup so you can get drunk. So I got to do exercise, find the ping pong ball, hope that you make it in the cup. I just want to have fun and get drunk. That's a stupid-ass game. Stupid at beer pong. Thank you, Stick With It. Beer pong. It's fucking ridiculous. You got to hope they make it so you can get drunk. Doesn't make no sense to me. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Let's move on. But please name these vegan refried bean tostadas with a Raider nickname, because I couldn't come up with one. And in the forum, not the chat room, hopefully I can remember the chat room, but in the forum below, I will contact the best answer for these tostadas, and I'll give them a gift somehow, maybe a Raider trading card rookie or something. I'll get a hold of you, and I'll pick the best one for the next show, or the best name for the next show. All right, let's move along. Raiders signed safety Matthias Farley to the active roster. In a corresponding move, the team has waived safety Isaiah Palamau. Man, you never let nobody go that has the last name of Palamau. You never let go of cornerback or safety that has the last name of Palamau. I'm just saying. It's just my thoughts. But Josh McDumbass. I like Josh McDaniels. We'll get into that more. They signed safety Matthias Farley to the roster. Then also because of all the right tackle, right guard, offensive line issues, because Josh McDumbass can't make up his mind. I'm not going to call him McDumbass anymore because I'm more of a Gruden hater than a McDaniels hater right now. But they acquired tackle Justin Huron in a trade. As a part of the trade terms, the Las Vegas will send a 2024 sixth-round pick to the Patriots. I could see that connection. Where did Alex Leatherwood go? I got to look that up. Was it Chicago? I got to see how he's doing over there. We're going to talk about the offensive line woes, or not so good woes, as of this past week. Sorry, I got to bring my screen up. Also, we got the Gruden court date looming. some evidence will be coming out soon in the Gruden case. Hopefully a lot more messages that implicate the damn NFL, because that was harsh. Whatever they did, that was cancel culture at its worst. There was an agenda to get him out of the NFL. Was it from Washington? Was it from the owners? Was it from Roger Goodell? Was it to get that guy elected for the Players Association? What's his name? Big Lips? Whatever that dude's name is. But that's coming up. Some more information on the Gruden case is starting to come out little by little as the court case looms. And then speaking of court cases, the Raider president that said he was fired for reporting, and he reported the hostile work environment, Dan Ventrelli, they gave an official court date to start the proceedings, and that will be in December. So there's a lot of court case with former Raiders, GMs. Mark Davis is involved in a lot of court cases. We also got the Henry Ruggs court case that's going to officially start, I believe, in December as well, or January, for the murder charge or something like that. Oh, my goodness. Court cases in the Raiders. Ridiculous. Sorry, I haven't talked that much in a while, guys, so forgive me. It's funny, Mikey Raider hasn't talked that much in a while. I normally talk all the time in every video, but I haven't really been online. All right, let's get into another court case that is just appearing. Kyler Murray and the NFL are suing a Raider fan. That's right, after the Arizona Cardinals game, apparently Kyler Murray got slapped in the face by a Raider fan. And he complained to the NFL, then they took it upon themselves to investigate, and they kicked out that person. He's been banned for life, and now he has a court case incoming from the NFL. Or something like that, or with Kyler Murray. The dates haven't been announced or anything, but apparently Kyler Murray and the NFL are going to try to sue this guy for damages or money or something, or just to prove a point that you can't hit players or attack them in games. They're going to set a tone. They're trying to set a tone for future, but it's ridiculous. Let's watch the video footage, and you guys tell me if this honestly is a slap to you. There's a dumbass Kyler Murray winning the game, running into our fans. Well, you know, they had some Arizona Cardinal fans there, but the weekend that we're looking at, the weekend Murray. How it do it all? How it do it dance so long? I need to fix my hair 'cause I'm a Satan and I'm a Mason. I need Satan images. I'm a Mason. My name is The Weekend. Sorry. The Weekend Murray, after he wins the game, luckily, runs into our crowd of fans, and as you can see, yeah, I'm Kyler Murray, man. Yeah, that's right. What? You slapped me. You slapped me in the face, you damn Raider fan. Let me get back at you. So here it is in close-up, apparently. The Weekend Murray there. Look at the guy. No! That ain't no damn slap. I think he was trying to high-five Kyler Murray like everybody else was doing. But stupid Kyler Murray's ugly face was in the way. See, everybody's kind of high-fiving Murray, and this Raider fan's probably like, you motherfucker, how dare you beat us? And then, Kyler Murray puts his damn weekend haircut into the fans. See, look. The guy champs up, boom. Then he comes back, what? What the hell was that? No, that's good. What? Yeah, I'm going to hit you. How dare you hit me in the face? How dare it? From my perspective, that wasn't a slap. That wasn't a punch. I think they called it a punch in the news media. You know the news media wants to do that. You know the news media wants to call it a punch or whatever. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous, news media. You're ridiculous. Not even a punch. Who is this guy? He's wearing a white shirt. He doesn't even have anything on the Cardinals. This motherfucker, you know he had a Raider jersey on. Or he wore white to be neutral. Or he is really an Arizona fan. Or he wore white to be neutral. Or he's Kyler Murray's brother or uncle. Or it's the weekend. I don't know. But he either took off the jersey because he was afraid of Raider fans. But he's cheering in a blank white shirt for Kyler Murray. Cheering him on like the world ended. Yeah, you go, boy. What the hell, man? You either need to have on an Arizona jersey or a Raider jersey. Get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. And then there you go. Behind the guy in the Arizona, there's the white invader. The white supremacist that the news media is probably calling him for hitting or accidentally hitting Kyler Murray. Whoa, boom, oh, yeah, wait a second, somebody hit me. Hey, come back here. Come back here, you blonde beach Raider fan. You surfer Raider Whatever, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I just had to have fun at that. Guys. I'm sorry. He tried to slap his pads like the others and missed on accident. Yes, sick with it. That's what he did. Richard Seymour slapped Roethlisberger harder. All eyes on you. That's hilarious. Does he still play baseball? Kyler Murray? I doubt it. Looked like he was just going to pat high on his shoulder pads and missed. I agree, Michael F. And what's up, Mike? My health? I don't know. I'm alive right now. Thank you, brother. All right. Let's watch this video on how old news becomes new news again, with more allegations on the Super Bowl sabotage and the Tom Brady bullshit that we're going to get into. But watch this video from Rod Woodson, because he was in that Super Bowl. Now, 20 years later, it feels like more truthful information is coming out for the claims of that Tim Brown and Jerry Rice and a lot of other people made against Bill Callahan sabotaging with Gruden. Listen to what Rod Woodson had to say on a show.
Your last Super Bowl appearance was with the Raiders in that Super Bowl where Tampa just went crazy. I'll ask you this question. You answer it how you wish, Rod. Is it true? Is it true Al Davis changed up the game plan defensively?
He said Al Davis changed up the game plan defensively. So I got to listen closer, but they said Al Davis. I thought they were talking Bill Callahan offensively changing the game plan. But hopefully that was just a misworded statement by him.
I'll ask you this question. You answer it how you wish, Rod. Is it true? Is it true Al Davis changed up the game plan defensively night before on you guys?
No, it was not Al Davis.
Thank you.
It was the head coach.
Bill Callahan.
I'll leave it at that.
Sabotage Callahan.
The head coach changed up the game plan, and normally you don't change the game plan during the season, let alone the Super Bowl. But the night before, we're going to run Tampa out of their Tampa too, because we had the running backs. I think we were top 5 rushing attack. We were, I think, the number 1 passing attack also that year. We had a great offense. The game plan just changed. You can't throw the football down in and down out against the rush that they had and the guys that they had on the back end at linebacker in the secondary. You just couldn't do it. And we tried to do it, and it did not work.
And so you were just
to reiterate, before John Gruden became the coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks the previous year, it was the other coach, and we beat them with that same attack with John Gruden on the roster. We beat the Bucks with a running game attack, and we beat them by like 28 or 30 points against their so-called number 1 defense that they even had the year before. So that's why the plan to run the ball was the good attack, as Rod Woodson is speaking. And again, I made a pretty cool documentary video a few years back. The quality ain't so great, but you can understand. I'll put the link in in the video after I'm done, and you guys can watch it. But a lot of this is explained. A lot of this is explained. And Rod Woodson is now reiterating the fact that a lot of us were talking about. And stupid-ass Rich Gannon said, no, that wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. And I think a couple offensive linemen said that as well. No, that's not what happened. It's not what happened.
And the guys that had in the back end, at linebacker in the secondary, you just couldn't do it. And we tried to do it, and it did not work.
And so you showed up Saturday night, and the game plan that you'd been working on all week, it gets changed up. What was that like in the room at that time, Rod?
Well, I know for me, we drafted Derek Gibson that year as a safety. Mm-hmm. And when the coach said it in the meeting on Saturday night, I folded my binder up. I looked at Derek Gibson. I said, well, you can chalk this one up, fella. We're not going to win this one.
So here's what's weird about this video, guys, and the reason why I'm playing it. We all know the story, but he's talking the defensive game plan as well as the offensive game plan the night before. Listen again. He talked about they drafted safety Derek Gibson. They were going to run the ball and do something, and they changed it. The defensive game plan. Not only the offense, the defensive game plan. If that ain't sabotage, I don't know what the hell is, y'all.
Said it in the meeting on Saturday night. I folded my binder up. I looked at Derek Gibson. I said, well, you can chalk this one up, fella. We're not going to win this one.
Is that what you said?
We're not going to win, bro. Absolutely, I said it. I said, we're not going to win this one. But you can't win when you change your game plan the night before a game. I can see you change a play. You changed the whole game plan. It wasn't like he changed the series. He changed the whole game plan.
The whole game plan. And he didn't just say the offensive game plan. He said the whole game plan. Again, the conspiracies were that he changed the offensive game plan. Now we're finding out the defense as well.
So, I mean, that was very unfortunate. And it didn't work out.
Rod,
and then Rich ended up throwing 5 picks.
Yeah. Right, and then Barrett Robbins too. I mean, he was. I mean, the whole that 24-hour period was just wild for your team.
Yeah,
you know. Oh
yeah.
my
But
goodness.
what was great for me though, I started playing as a Power Raider, and my life came full circle, and I got to finish up playing with the Raiders.
There you go. What a great statement. He was so proud to be a Raider. I congratulate you, Rod Woodson. But yeah, it's a very telling interview that there possibly was an all-around game plan change, not only on offense, but defense as well. Oh, my goodness. All right, and in a little bit of news, the media versus the Raiders, always trying to come up with a headline, a breadline. Look what the media put Davante Adams through at the end of the press conference. And let's see if you guys understand what Davante is saying, or if you understood the implications from the damn reporter at a press conference from a couple days ago.
We know you're fast on the field. You're going to drive a pace car coming up in a couple weeks. Would you ever drive like a race car for real?
Yeah, I would, but I'm gonna keep this today a little bit more. We got more important things we got to focus on than that. And we don't need people worrying about that type of stuff, because then you know how that goes. And I think you know what you're doing too, but we're not gonna do that.
You guys good?
Did you guys understand what just happened there? Please chime in. I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to chime in. Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button if you enjoy my rants, my videos. Maybe it'll give me positivity to do more in the future, because I struggle every once in a while, as you can see right now. But if you guys saw what the media reporter did right there, yep, Michael Levitt's mentioning it, was apparently Davante Adams is going to drive a pace car for NASCAR or Formula One or whatever, probably at the Vegas Stadium or the parking lot for an event this weekend, like on Saturday or somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know the exact details. But he's going to drive a pace car, and a pace car still goes fast. So he mentioned that to Davante, and it brought up the memories of Henry Ruggs driving a fast car, killing a woman, with Davante Adams, the number one wide receiver for us as well, driving a fast car. And it took Davante a couple of seconds to really formulate, what is this guy, why is he asking me? Why is he bringing up a fast car? You're fast in life, you're going to drive a car. In a press conference when everybody's hating on Carr, McDaniels, the Raiders, trying to win. Let's watch it again. And watch Davante's mood change. And I love how Davante Adams calls him out. You know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a headline. So you guys can bring up the rug stuff again.
We know you're fast on the field. You're going to drive a pace car coming up in a couple weeks. Would you ever drive like a race car for real?
Yeah, I would, but I'm gonna keep this today a little bit more. We got more important things we got to focus on than that. And we don't need people worrying about that type of stuff, because then you know how that goes. And I think you know what you're doing too, but we're not gonna do that.
You guys good?
Yeah, and I think you know what you're doing, motherfucker. I think you know. You know that I know that you know that I know. And they know that I know that you know. You know? I love how the Raiders are calling out the media. I wish it would happen more often. Derek Carr did it to Paul Gutierrez with some of his bullshit trash talk. And I wish it would happen more, and we're going to discuss that in a little bit. But that was a crazy, crazy video. All right, let's get into this nonsense. This is resurfaced. Tom Brady and all his uniqueness with the Super Bowl that we just spoke about or talked about. Now, apparently, Dana White recently came out and gave more information to a story that some of us were possibly confused by. Let's get into it. A long time ago in the years of Gruden, when Gruden was becoming a Raider, the first year that Tom Brady was a free agent, all the teams were trying to get Tom Brady. And somewhere in that year, Tom Brady flew to Las Vegas, sat with Mark Davis, John Gruden, and apparently Dana White at a UFC fight match. The reports came out. We were all talking about it. Where would Tom Brady go? Tom Brady's going to the Raiders. He had a meeting with John Gruden and Mark Davis and Dana White in Vegas. Blah, blah, blah. They were seen together. They were taking pictures together. All right. A lot of us chalked it up to bullshit. Then we found out, the rumors weren't true. Derek Carr's their quarterback. Blah, 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 blah. Then when Tom Brady finally went to Tampa Bay. I could call it some other names like I'm a gay, or I'm a gay fucking queer, or Tampa Bay fucking queers. So Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. Then he did an article. I'm just trying to reiterate what he said in the article. And they were asked, why'd you come to Tampa Bay or whatever? Instead of, there were rumors that you were going to go to some other teams. Why didn't you go? And then Tom Brady said something like, when I was asked about it, one of the teams that was interested in me, they weren't interested at the very end. They weren't interested in him being their quarterback at the very end of the negotiations or whatever. And then he was saying, I was thinking, you're staying with that MFer? So, meaning they're staying with some quarterback and who's that MFer? So a lot of rumors came out that it was Ryan Fitzpatrick from Miami, Dak Prescott. I forget. I can't name them all. There was like 5 people that they said is the motherfucker. And Derek Carr was included in that statement because of the meeting with Dana White and blah, 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 blah. Well, that was chalked up to not be Derek Carr, and we thought that was that. Because Gruden would never have traded Derek Carr. He was their guy, blah, 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 blah. So who is the MFer? A lot of people just said it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Well, Derek Carr this year came out with the mullet. I just wanted to say he started the season with the mullet. I don't know why that's relevant to what we're saying now. But I like that pride and poise from Derek Carr to start the draft with a mullet. I just wanted to say that. All right. So who was that MFer? A lot of speculation was abound. A lot of speculation was abound. All right. Then Dana White. I don't think I have the video here. Forgive me. I do not think I have the video here. But Dana White on a broadcast said, oh man, I put that whole thing together. I brokered the meeting between Tom Brady, Mark Davis, and John Gruden. And they were going to sign Tom Brady, and Gronk was going to come with Tom Brady to the Raiders. But Mark Davis wanted Brady, but John Gruden told Mark Davis, stand down. As in, I'm sticking with Derek Carr. That's what Dana White said, that he brokered the trade that didn't happen because Gruden shut it down and said, I'm staying with Derek Carr. Hence, the Tom Brady report where he says one of the teams that was interested, they weren't interested at the very end because I was thinking, you're sticking with that MFer? We didn't think it was Derek Carr. But now with the Dana White report that he brokered the trade, we're like, damn. It is Derek Carr that Tom Brady was making fun of and calling out. Well, let's watch. And Tom Brady even confirmed this about a week ago, that Derek Carr is the MFer.
Tom Brady has confirmed that Fitzmagic is not that motherfucker that he was talking about. That's big news. Congrats to Fitzmagic.
Yeah, wow.
Big win.
Although Thursday Night Football, Amazon... Tom Brady has confirmed that Fitzmagic is not that motherfucker that he was talking about. That's big news. Congrats to Fitzmagic.
Yeah, wow.
Big win.
Although Thursday Night Football, Amazon analyst and pundit Ryan Fitzmagic thought that he was that motherfucker because there was numerous times when Fitzmagic would be on another team, beat the Patriots, and Tom Brady would show zero respect for the Harvard bearded man.
See, everybody thought it was Fitzpatrick.
John Gruden, who is now suing the
Oh, so here we're going to hear.
deal was made with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Sorry, I skipped it a little bit.
But now that we know via Dana White and Rob Gronkowski,
Yeah.
an entire deal was made with the Las Vegas Raiders and Tom Brady and John Gruden, who is now suing the NFL in a case that is going to open a lot of eyes, I think, for a lot of people. And no longer the head coach. He's the one that said, nah, we're keeping our young quarterback. This is the Derek Carr, John Gruden show, not going to be the Tom Brady show. Now Tom inevitably goes to Tampa Bay, wins the Super Bowl year one. Gronk goes there, Antonio Brown goes there. All contribute to the success. Could have been the Raiders, but no.
Maybe that was the plans. Antonio Brown reuniting with Tom Brady. I don't know. But that happened after the fact, right? That was after. I don't know.
Derek Carr remains suspect number one to be that motherfucker that Tom Brady will never forget about, right? Yeah, I'm sure he won't ever forget about.
And I'm sure, like, week one, this year when Carr throws 3 picks and fumbles, Brady's not sitting there just grinning ear to ear, almost gritting his teeth into dust. Like, yeah, good, exactly. You wanted this fucking guy instead of me. I hope, I would like. Tom's not the kind of guy who just lets that stuff go quietly into the
Nope.
night. Like,
Tom's a bitch. Tom Brady, you're a bitch. And I said it. That's why your wife left you. She went to Puerto Rico. She's doing some modeling. She's probably cheating on you. And then you come to work all frail and looking skinny, talking about, man, I'm 45 years of age. There's a lot of shit going on. Yeah, you created that shit. Being an asshole, lying in legal cases, tearing up your cell phone so they couldn't get the information that you did deflate the balls. You still a bitch. Whether you're the GOAT, you're still a bitch GOAT, in my opinion.
He will remember that on his deathbed.
There's probably some weird tattoo he has that only shows up whenever you use like some sort of
light or something.
Yeah, some app on the phone, and it's like fuck Derek Carr.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, don't ever forget it. At night before he goes to bed, he opens up that flashlight on his phone that goes, "Fuck it, you're right." Yeah. I don't know what's going on in my family, but I do know one thing. Fuck Derek Carr.
Back to work.
He was moving to Vegas, I bet.
Yeah. Can you imagine that offense too?
Giselle was ready. Giselle was ready to go to Vegas.
There it is. I mean, so look, let's end the conspiracy. Derek Carr, even Tom Brady or whatever admitted it wasn't Fitzpatrick, so that puts it on Derek Carr. The meeting with Dana White proves it. And you know that Brady wanted to end his career in Vegas, Showtown, make a lot of money, no taxes, to hopefully build his wealth. His family's a model. He could have done all the entertainment, just flown to L.A. You know without a shadow of a doubt, now, after all this is being revealed, that Tom Brady wanted to come to the Raiders. And then, thank goodness, some of you might have wanted him, but thank goodness John Gruden had the balls to stick with Derek Carr, and it made Tom Brady mad, but he got a Super Bowl, so he's happy. But still, Tom Brady's life plans were altered with that decision to stick with Derek Carr. Hence why he said, I was thinking, you're sticking with that motherfucker? That changed his life. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. But the point is, that put a wrinkle in his plans. And kudos on John Gruden for sticking up for Derek Carr, finally choosing him. But why did John Gruden choose Derek Carr over Tom Brady? Was it because they live next door to each other? I mean, could you imagine that? They live next door to each other. Remember that? Could you imagine having to trade or get rid of Derek Carr and bringing in Tom Brady when Derek Carr's your next door neighbor? Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting from my perspective. And a week after this information comes out, that now Derek Carr is that motherfucker, Tom Brady and his stupid ass is now trolling the Raiders even more. He admitted in an interview that the tuck rule might have been a fumble. Yeah, it might have been a fumble, he said. It might have been a fumble. Might have been a fumble. Might have been a fumble. Wasn't a fumble back then. You know, with that unknown rule that nobody ever saw until that play. It wasn't a fumble back then. It was the tuck rule. The rule that was in the books for like 80 years and nobody ever saw it till that play. It was a tuck rule back then. It wasn't a fumble. But now, after 1 year later, the rule was taken out. And a couple years later, the guy retired and got millions of dollars to talk on media, the referee. And then like 15 years later, once they're talking about it again, because Josh McDaniels is our head coach from the Patriots, Tom Brady says, you know, I had a lot of time when I skipped practices in training camp this year, like 12 days. I rewatched the Super Bowl. And during that time, I thought to myself, it might have been a fumble. It might have been a fumble. Fuck you, Tom Brady. Go to hell. Go to hell. You damn troll. All right, after this week's loss to the Tennessee Titans, who were 0-2 at the time, after this really important loss, the news reports came out that Mark Davis had a closed-door meeting from Paul Gutierrez. Mark Davis had a closed-door meeting with Josh McDaniels. Sounds like the closed-door meeting with Dennis Allen after the loss. But everybody's antennas went, oh my God, we're 0-3, and Mark Aces Davis is having a closed-door meeting with Josh McDaniels right after the game. Remember how he fired Dennis Allen on the plane? Remember how he fired Jack Del Rio in front of John Gruden? McDaniels ain't being fired. That ain't happening. But Mark Davis thinks he has the balls because he got himself a championship with the Aces. He has the balls now to speak up because he's handling the Gruden shit, talking to the media. He ain't no pansy anymore. He got a championship with the Aces, and he wants a championship with the Raiders. I went out this, look here, Josh McDaniels. This is what happened in that closed-door meeting. Mark Davis said, get in here, McDumbass. I paid you a lot of money. We don't even know the contract details. It's 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. We don't even know. Only Mark Davis knows. But I paid you a lot of money. I brought in Devontae Adams, paid him a lot of money. Gave Derek Carr an extension, Max Crosby an extension. I pulled out money from my ass. I sold shares of the Raiders to get that money to pay these motherfucking players. Listen here, McDumbass. Do you know our team's motto? Do you know our team's motto? It has been our motto through Oakland, Los Angeles, and it's still our fucking motto. Our motto is to do what, Josh McDumbass? Just win, baby. And so far, all you fucking done is just lose, motherfucker. Mark Davis is pissed, and he's showing his cards. He won a championship with the Aces. He wants to be an owner. He wants to be a mogul. He wants to have millions of dollars in real estate. Remember, he bought himself a big mansion on the hill with a pool or whatever. He wants to be Jerry Jones. He got a stadium, and he's spending money. The least you can do, Josh McDaniels, is get us a victory out of our first 3 or 4 fucking games. But here's why that was a really bad thing for Mark Davis to do. You're questioning, I don't know what was said in that meeting, I don't know. But you're questioning your head coach that quickly. That means you got no fucking patience. And that's why the Raiders have been losing for many years. No fucking patience. And then you're making ridiculous decisions with your wallet, with your head, with entertainment, by hiring Gruden and doing this and doing that. You're fucking, bring it back to football, Mark fucking Davis. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. That's why it was really bad. The optics of what Mark Davis did to hinder his new head coach, the optics were ridiculous. It's like you getting a new job, right? And you're struggling. It's day 3. You're still struggling. And your boss brings you into a room in front of the whole crew that you work with. Maybe there's 100 people there. Your boss brings you in. Hey, Mikey Raider, come here. We got to talk. Close the door. You're struggling. It's only day 3. I ain't going to give you 2 weeks. I know he had 2 weeks because it's football, but it's still 2 games, 3 games, whatever. The optics are ridiculous. Now it might let the players in future games, if we lose more, question the head coach. That took a lot of power and strength away from Josh McDaniels as our head coach and gave it back to Mark Davis in the eyes of the players. The optics were pretty fucking bad. Then we have to have an idiot reporter like Paul Gutierrez or whoever reported on it. I heard it was somebody else. Forgive me. I might be wrong. But to report that. Now the media is going to run with it. You get it? The media is going to fucking run with it. And now Josh McDaniels, in my videos, your videos, every other video is being questioned and talked about and being clowned upon. That all stemmed not only from being only 0-3, but it also got fuel from the fire of Mark Davis bringing him into a room after the game in front of the reporters. That shit was ridiculous, Mark Davis. Another bad fucking decision. You took power away from your head coach. I know it's been tough losses. You could have did that shit outside of the media. You didn't have to do that in front of them. You didn't have to do it in front of them. You could have had some fucking grace and talked to him a day or 2 later and to try to get on the same fucking page. The optics of that were ridiculous. All right, let's take a quick little 20-second break. We're going to come right back. Thank you guys for chiming in. And I'm going to take a quick 20-second break. Then we're going to talk McDaniels. Is he to blame? We're going to break it down. What's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Maggie Raider. This is Raider Football Talk. We are now entering our number 2 of my first in-season Raider Football Talk show. Hope you guys are having a good time. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Please call the rant line for leaving your rant so you could be on a future show. We're going to hear from a listener in a minute or 2, and we're going to just continue the show. Again, hit that bell for notifications. Super Chat is available if you'd like to chime in during the show. Ask me a question. I will answer it and do my best. But I'm proud to be back. And let's get right into it. Bam! I asked a Twitter poll the other day. I said, who do you blame for the 0-3 start? I could have wrote everybody, but they only give you 4 options on Twitter. But I asked, who's to blame for the 0-3 start? Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr? Is it because offensively they had no preseason reps? Or is it the entire offense? I could have wrote the defense. I could have wrote Mark Davis. I could have wrote the media. Who's to blame? And again, running with the storyline, which it is valid to this point, Josh McDaniels got 60% of the votes. Then after the 0-3 loss, according to experts, we now have a 5% chance to make the playoffs. We gonna be all right. As I said with a scared grin, we gonna be all right. We have a 5% chance to make the playoffs as of the 0-3 start. All right, let me find my picture so I can take them off screen and start it. All right, let's talk about who's to blame. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball. Let's critique these people a little bit individually. Our coach, Graham, I believe that's his name, Graham, Brandon Graham, Alan Graham. All I know is he ain't playing. He's playing like a graham cracker. And the defense is crumbling. I mean, they're playing all right at certain points. Certain players are playing all right. This is our base defense that we had like last week. I can't really read the names on screen, but, you know, if I want to critique each and every player, I'm going to say Nate Hobbs, from my non-expert ass, is playing pretty damn good. Rock Yashin, he's doing all right. He gets beat. I think he was injured a little bit. I don't know. All right, Deron Harmon playing a lot at safety next to Jonathan Abram. He playing all right. I think he had an interception last week. He looking all right. They building chemistry. Jonathan Abram is balling out. He's all over the place. Still misses tackles. Still takes the wrong angle. Still overplays his hand. But he is in Vegas. He's trying to get a contract for another team. Basically, Jonathan Abrams playing for another team. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. So he's trying to play for another team. So he's trying to get good tape out. Then we got Jerron Brown, I think, as a linebacker. Denzel Perryman injured. I don't know if he played last week. Hopefully he did. Then we got Divine Diablo. The linebacking core is getting beat. The linebacking core is worse without Denzel Perryman, for fact. If he's still injured, we're going to discuss that. But they're getting beat. They are getting beat in the middle of the field. And the run game seems to go to them and the safeties constantly, meaning they're getting past the defensive line. Let's talk about Chandler Jones, Bilal Nichols. I can't even read it on screen. I think it's Billings, Andrew Billings, Chance Billings, something like that. And then Max Crosby. The defensive line, they're playing bend, don't break. They're getting pressure, then they're not. They're looking good, then they're not. They're getting tired, they're getting beat, and they're giving up. The first 2 weeks they played excellent against the run. Excellent against Eckler, Connor, or whoever's on the Cardinals. But, you know, Derek Henry came to town. That's a tall task. They got their asses whooped. So, they're still a good defensive line, but they got their asses whooped by Derek Henry. Okay? Our defense overall, we're ranked like 24th, as we're going to discuss in a minute. We're not that good defensively. We're not. It's a new scheme. We got new young players trying to learn a whole new shit. Just like the offense, they're taking their time. But let's talk about the big question. The big signings of this year. The new contract for Max Crosby. And the free agent signing of Chandler Jones from the Cardinals. They ain't panning out, y'all. They seem to be failed pass rushers after week 3. Oh, Mikey Raider, you're calling out Max Crosby. He's the best. I love him. He's doing all he can. Blah, blah. Look, relax. I love Max too. But let's critique the stats for right now and hopefully find a conclusion. Overall, Max Crosby has had 151 snaps as a pass rusher or a defensive end or a linebacker, whatever you want to call him. He's had 151 snaps in 3 games. He has 95% share of being on the field, meaning 95% of the other team's offensive plays, he has been on the field. 95%. 151 snaps. He has 2 sacks. And I believe they probably both came in week 1, or he's had 1 a game, it seems like, almost. And he has 25 tackles. What's the average of 2 sacks out of 151? Like a 1%? I know with sacks you're not going to get that many. But he's looking at under 1%, maybe 1%. But with tackles, I know he's not supposed to be the main tackler. I get it. He has 25. So out of 151 snaps, That's pretty good. It's like, I don't know, 20%, 18% that he's tackling. Now, let's look at it from the opposite side of his big brother, the Smash Brothers, the double threats. 97 snaps. I know he had injury in the preseason. That's probably what keeps him out here and there. I do not know. But he has 0. Let's count him. 0 sacks out of 97 snaps. Snaps. All these S's fuck with my mouth. He has 6 tackles. That's like a 6% tackle rate and a 0% out of 100. And he's played 74% share. And from what I've noticed, Chandler Jones ain't doing shit. I don't know if it's the game plan, what they got him playing, but he doesn't look like a pass rusher to me. He looks like an outside linebacker. They seem to have him running after the running backs out of the backfield, the tight ends, the double tight ends, like not specifically rushing the quarterback. So, I mean, did you sign him to be an outside linebacker? Maybe they did. Maybe they thought Max Crosby was enough. And then you would think with his knowledge of the Arizona Cardinals offense from practices, he would have been able to help our team do a little bit better against Kyler Murray. Yes, I know we held Kyler Murray in check for the first half or the third quarter until the fourth. I get it. But you would think he would have had a sack against his friend. And then, why isn't Max Crosby getting more sacks if he's that good? Is he tired from playing so much? That's what it looks like to me. Max Crosby gives everything on every down, and he looks exhausted. He won't look exhausted when the play starts, but you know he is playing 95% of the share, but he's just not getting to the quarterbacks. It seems like he's the only guy pass rushing constantly. Let's look at our overall defense, if you can read it on screen. We're ranked number 24. We're 10th in points, giving up points. Fantasy points, I don't know what that means, F points. We're 30th in the league in sacks. I don't know how many we have total, but we're 30th in the league of getting sacks in 3 games. Interception, we're 14. Turnovers, we're 23rd in the league. Points, we're 24th. Giving up yards, we're 23rd. Giving up passing yards, we're 28th. We give up the 28th worst passing yards to other teams. Passing completions, we're 30th in the league. Giving up passing touchdowns, we're only 19. Bend don't break, kinda. Giving up rushing yards, like I said, the first 2 weeks were fantastic. We're 16th. Giving up rushing attempts, we're 24th. Giving up rushing touchdowns, we're 23rd. Giving up touchdowns, trying to read it, 24th. Red zone attempts, we're 17th. Giving up red zone attempts. Giving up red zone touchdowns, we're 22nd. And the red zone touchdown percentage by the other teams is 22. So 22% of the time we're giving up a touchdown in the red zone. I don't know if that's good or bad. And then we're giving up first downs 26th worst. Again, I don't understand numbers all the time or whatever. Just showing you guys. Something's wrong. Is it a new scheme? Are they not using Chandler Jones correctly? Is Max Crosby being the workhorse getting too tired? What is it? What is it? That needs to be addressed. They need to blitz more or to do something to help out Max Crosby, and then they need to blitz Chandler Jones more if that's what they brought him in to do. You cannot truthfully only have on your defensive line one true pass rusher. You can't do it. That's why people have nose tackles or defensive linemen or defensive interior that are also like pass rushers that, interrupt the backfield. But normally you would want two bona fide pass rushers at least on third down or second down every time. And that doesn't seem to be the case. What is the problem? And a lot of you are going to get mad at me. Oh, why are you doing it, Mikey Raider? Relax. It's just a simple observation. Does Max Crosby look a little flabby to you? Look around his chest area. I don't know. I'm expecting from these vaunted athletes to have muscles and abdomens and, features of this and that everywhere. Not look a little flabby. I'm just saying. I don't know. Does he need to put on more muscle weight? I don't know. Will he lose his agility? I don't know. Is he flabby? Probably not. I'm probably reading into it. If anybody's flabby, it's my fucking ass. But I'm looking for problems. I'm looking for things to fix. So, I don't know. Poor Max Crosby, though, yo. Poor Max Crosby. This guy can get it done, but something is missing. Whether it be some muscle definition or fucking Chandler Jones or the scheme plan or the game plays, something's fucking missing. Oh, my goodness, it pisses me off. Stop sending Abrams on the blitz. You're absolutely correct, J-Dog. They do that with Abram a lot. That just proves why Chandler Jones goes out to cover whoever he's covering for Jonathan Abram to do the blitz. Great. They said both came last game. No, Max Crosby had a week 1 sack in week 1 against Justin Herbert. Anthony Ruiz, I agree 100%. Our D-line really needs to get some type of pressure. Blitz or start our youngsters. Kuntz or Bowers, my namesake. That's right. Hey, Angel, should we try to sign Ndamukong? Who? Fuck no. Fuck that dude. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get some fan talk from our listener for last week's game. See if I got the phone call here. Probably from drunk. They called him Drunk Raider Junkie. Let's see. I think it is Raider Junkie.
What's up, Mikey Raider? Tough loss today. Raider Junkie here. Man, this was a tough one to swallow, Mikey. Man, that first half, though, that defense could not stop Tennessee. We gave up 21 points in that first half. That was tough to swallow.
We didn't give up any after.
The defense did come back in the second half and held them in check for no points.
Yep.
So it was the adjustments at halftime that did good for the defense. But don't forget that first half of the offense that scored only 10 points. Don't forget Darren Waller, Mikey, dropped that touchdown pass. It resulted only into 3 points instead of 7. But as we can see during that first half, I mean, Holland had a really good game. Derek Carr did not have an exceptional game, but I thought he did pretty good. I mean, he threw 44 times, Mikey, 44. And he threw just a little bit over for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns. Our thing was third down efficiency on offense. 1 for 12, Mikey? We got to change that. I mean, we just can't keep doing that on third down. We're not going to win games with that. We got to keep that ball rolling.
Junkie coming with the heat today, bro. I don't think he's that drunk.
It was just really a bad, really first half. I got to give credit to the defense, though. They did shut down, like I said, in the second half, allowing no points. The offense finally started to get the ball moving. Well, we scored 12 points, and we missed on that 2-point conversion, which was pretty damn tight. I think Waller should have had that one. But what can we say, you know? So there were some good signs, though, on defense, you know, as Crosby had like 9 solo tackles, and I think Devo had a whole bunch of them, like 6 or 7. You know, Crosby had a sack, but we just couldn't get to him when the times that we needed to. So, I mean, overall, it was an okay game. We just need to tighten up stuff, especially on penalties. We had too many penalties, especially when we were first and goal, and we had false start, I think it was, and moved us back. I mean, we had a lot of penalties, you know, running out the clock, delay a game. I mean, just stupid things that we could have did. And I'm going to blame a lot of this on the coaching staff, time management and timeout management.
All right, well, you only get 3 minutes when you do call, so try to leave your messages as short as possible. But thank you for the phone call, Raider Junkie. You're the only dude that's calling me after every game leaving messages. So I want to remind everybody else, please leave your messages, your rants, anytime, not even only after a game, whenever you want. You'll be on a future show, I promise you. But that being said, Raider Junkie was coming with the heat. The first couple weeks, he was really wasted after the loss, and people were saying, oh, he sounds drunk, he sounds drunk. Well, he drinks a lot, well, you know, during the games. But this week, he didn't sound so drunk to me. Why? Because it was a 10 a.m. game. How drunk can you get before 1 o'clock, which the games are normally? This week it was a 10 a.m. game, so he probably barely started drinking at halftime. Yeah, that's just a shame. It's all good, Raider Junkie. We love you. You made a lot of valid points in there, and everything you said is valid 100%, and we love hearing from you. And I'm going to get into more of the discussions of what happened with Josh McDaniels and in that game, and a Bronco preview in the next couple minutes. So we only had one phone call. Let me move along. But you made up some valid points, especially about Darren Waller. And we're going to find out, did Derek Carr call out Darren Waller 2 weeks ago with some hidden messages? Stay tuned. We're going to discuss that in just a second.
So here we are in the fourth quarter, no time left, and the touchdown is under review.
Hey guys, what do you think?
Everyone hates the Raiders. Can you fuck with them again?
No problem.
I don't know what he was looking at, but we're going into overtime.
Buffalo Wild Wings, you have to be here.
This could finally end it. Oh my!
Man, don't you hate that when the referees purposely create a conspiracy to mess with the Raiders? What's up? It's your boy Mikey Raider here on RaiderFootballTalk. Let's continue the show. We're having a doozy. We got some great people online. Sick With It is still with us in our second hour. Anthony Reed, Rich Vitale, Hey Angel, my boy Frost WSA, Victor Trigg. Good to see you too. We got Mosh Trash saying, hey Mikey, is that Mosh from Raider Fan Radio? Yeah, I can't tell. What's up, Dosh? And we got Elizabeth, Raider Critique's fiance, saying hello. Hello, Elizabeth. The Queen Elizabeth. Remember her from wrestling? Rest in peace, my good. Those were the good years, weren't they? Them fucking wrestling in the 80s and early 90s. My goodness. Oh, life. Life. All right, let's get into some more drama. And I posted this the other day after watching Derek Carr press conferences. And I'm going to show some examples in a second. I posted Derek Carr, in every press conference since game 1, says, I'm paraphrasing, but I just want to do what Josh tells me. I just want to throw the ball to the guy that Josh tells me to. And he also says, ask Josh. I don't want to speak on their behalf, or, it's Josh's system, and I just want to do what Josh thinks is right. That got me thinking. Because in week 1 after the loss, or in week 2 after the loss, week 2 after the loss, Derek Carr's been saying this since training camp. Before the first game, these exact quotes. Why would Derek Carr be doing that? Is he setting up a narrative in case he loses or struggles? Is he setting up a narrative that it's not my fault? It's Josh McDaniels' fault. Is that what he's doing? Or is he setting up an angle that, I'm not agreeing with Josh. We are not on the same page. It's Josh's system, not mine. It's Josh's system. What is Derek Carr saying in these hidden messages, as I call them? After the loss in week 2, Derek Carr kind of called out a player. He didn't say a name, but he said when you don't practice, there are certain people that don't come to work prepared. There are certain people that are not practicing or getting ready for the field. Who was he referring to after that loss? That's where Darren Waller dropped balls as well and looked ill-prepared, just like he did this week. Was Derek Carr calling out Darren Waller for missing practices with the contract situation? Was it really a hamstring injury that he had? Was Derek Carr calling him out for not practicing correctly? Why wouldn't Derek Carr mention a name? He doesn't want to throw people under the bus. Why don't you, Derek Carr? You've earned it. 9 years in the fucking league. Start grabbing your balls and handling shit like Aaron Rodgers. They call you the baby Aaron Rodgers. Why don't you handle shit like it? No, you're too fucking insecure. You're too worried about what everybody else thinks, what everybody else is going to say. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to make people mad at me. I don't like that feeling of people being mad at me. Fuck Derek Carr. Fuck. I'm tired of the hyperboles. I'm tired of the symbolism. I'm tired of the hidden messages. I'm tired of you blaming yourself and then wanting to call out other people, but then you backtrack and you don't blame other people and you say it's all on me. Then when the media talks bad about you, you go off on the media with your fucking insecurities. Become a man. You are the man. You are the greatest Raider quarterback statistically that we've ever had. You are the man. You are the Vegas Raiders. You are legacy. Stop doing what other people tell you and stop trying to place the blame on others in hidden messages. If they're to blame or you have a problem with them, speak that shit out. Who cares what type of controversy it'll cause? You've proven you're a leader. You have proven you can take a team on your back and get us back to a winning pedigree, as you did last season with Rich Bisaccia. You are an MVP, bro. Whether they say it on the field, you truly are. Start manning the fuck up. I'm tired of these hidden messages. If you want to call out Josh McDaniels, or you want to call out play calling, or you want to call out a player, just fucking do it. But I understand your grace in not doing that. And the player heard the message. They heard it. But I'm tired of these hidden messages of you saying, I just want to do what Josh tells me. It's Josh's system. You know, this and that. I got to throw the ball where Josh tells me to. We have a certain read, and Josh told me to do that read. Fuck. Shut the fuck up. Let's watch some of the proof of what I'm just talking about. I got like a little fly in here, boy. is Jim the Auto, the fly on Al's wall. Remember that blog from back in the days? Many of you probably don't remember that blog. The fly on Al Davis's wall, Jim the Auto. There was that was great. The fly on Al Davis's wall. It was like a Raider web blog article back in the days. I loved it. All right, let's watch a little bit of examples of Derek Carr setting up a narrative for either excuses or I don't know what he's setting up, but here, let's watch. Oh, forgive me. I gotta turn it on screen, Mikey. Put it on screen.
That we connect. We've connected on a lot of passes in this league.
Okay, this is the player. He called him out like the week before, but they didn't say it by name, and it continued this week. And Darren Waller dropped balls in that first game, and he dropped balls in this game. So Derek Carr continued the rhetoric of calling out that player in this video that we're going to watch in a second. But first, I want to thank You're the Winner, Michael Dominguez, for the super chat. Thank you very much, Michael Dominguez. Carr is acting like a rookie. It's time for him to man up. That's what I said. Thank you for agreeing with me. It's just, people don't like Aaron Rodgers, right? But I love what that dude says. Yeah, he hides shit like the vaccination, the this, the that. But Aaron Rodgers, said some shit. And everybody listens to him and trusts him. Not only because he's winning, because he's got the ear of everybody on the team, and he even goes above the coach and the general manager and the owner because he knows he's the franchise. So Aaron Rodgers talks like he's the franchise. Derek Carr, you're the franchise. Own up to it. Who cares who gets mad at you? Whether it be John Gruden, Mark Davis, Josh McDumbass, Darren Waller, Devontae Adams, whoever. It don't matter. Speak your shit, Derek Carr. Speak it. All right, so again, he called out a player a couple weeks ago. And then again, he continues this week after Darren Waller dropped another 2 or 3 passes. So we know he's talking about Darren Waller, and then he proves that he's talking about Darren Waller by what he says here.
You know, when me and a certain guy that we've connected on a lot of passes in this league, and today they didn't go our way, and so
we've connected on a lot of passes in this league. He hasn't connected with Devontae Adams in this league together till this year. He said in this league previously. So that means Darren Waller. And then let's hear him bring up the excuses or blame Josh or setting up a narrative.
Me and a certain guy that we've connected on a lot of passes in this league, and today they didn't go our way, and so we'll take a look at them on film and why and all that, and you try and be better from it. But I felt like we were still able to hit some big plays in the passing game, and I didn't feel like it was like shut down or anything like that.
What do you see on the 2-point conversion? Obviously, this could be a lot different conversation. You guys have that one that is maybe a good play on that, or what do you see there?
Yep. So the backside safety, they had Byard on Darren. Darren, had a move to get inside, and the backside safety was coming, so I had to throw it back shoulder, or else that guy would have picked it and we would have had a same conversation. So I just trying to give Darren a chance high in the back of the end zone, and we didn't hit it.
Now he talks about Josh. Watch.
Yeah, I am. The fact that we haven't won, we've shown flashes of boom, 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 boom. It feels good, and but it comes back to what Josh keeps telling us, on the film. Certain things keep showing up, and if we don't correct those, again, it's going to feel this way, But I don't have any doubt. I don't have any worries. I've definitely been on teams where I'm worried, how are we going to do it, And I don't have that feeling, not even close. Have that kind of feeling,
You do have that feeling because you're talking about it and you brought it up plenty of times, and you're reiterating to the past when you had that feeling. So you're definitely having that worried feeling right now. Just be honest.
Especially when we're out there, but we do have to correct some things, or it's going to be hard. I want Josh to,
See?
For me personally.
There it is, right there. We're going to have to correct some things. It's going to be hard. But I'm not worried. You just said you're worried by saying it's going to be hard.
Have that kind of feeling,
Now watch when he's asked about Josh. I'll leave it up to Josh. I don't want to talk. It's Josh's team.
I want Josh to, for me personally, I just got to execute at the highest level every play, and when it comes to anything else, that's for Josh. But for me personally, trying to be pinpoint every time, to make the right call, make sure I'm sliding the right way, moving in the pocket, all those kind of things. Those are things that, when if I do it in practice, boom, it shows up in the game, and so I'm just trying to do that.
Derek, I know you don't want to point fingers or anything like that, but you mentioned a couple of just lack of connect.
You see how confused he gets? He like talks about Josh, and then whenever a reporter asks him a question, his brain even has a fart. Because he's thinking too much. He thinks too fucking much. Stop thinking. Do.
I just got to execute at the highest level every play, and when it comes to anything else, that's for Josh. But
I just got to execute at the highest level. But when it comes to anything else besides me, I'll talk to Josh. You get it? I got to execute. I got to execute at the highest level. But when it comes to play calling, who's lined up, the players we got on the team, the free agents we bring in, the general manager, the scoreboard, bring that up with Josh. I got to execute for me. But everything else, talk to Josh about that. I don't want to be involved in any of that.
Hard. I want Josh to, for me personally, I just got to execute at the highest level every play, and when it comes to anything else, that's for Josh. But for me personally, trying to be pinpoint every time, to make the right call, make.
Again, he's afraid to make mistakes. I'm trying to be pinpoint every time. I'm trying to get it to the right person that Josh tells me to. Fuck, man. When's it going to be your team? When's it going to be your team? We'll get into that a little bit more. Let me show another little example real quick. This is just from a couple of days ago. This is something interesting, too, about how he always defers to Josh. I'll defer to Josh. Josh is running this ship. It's all about Josh. I'm the quarterback for 9 years. I'm the franchise. I'm the legacy. But talk to Josh. Something's wrong with their relationship.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to listen to Josh in my progressions and what he's telling me in the game, and we're trying to set things up to get the ball a certain place and all that kind of stuff. And
did you guys just hear what he said? Derek Carr has no input on this offense from these fucking statements. I don't think Josh McDaniels built the team around some of Derek Carr's strength, or he built the offense around Derek Carr's strengths. I think he just brought in a brand new system and told Derek, go learn it. It's very complicated. And Derek Carr's struggling. So he wants to put the blame on Josh McDaniels. It seems like Derek Carr has no input. Well, Coach, Josh tells me who to throw it to during the game. He tells me, where the placement should be. Listen to this shit. It's telling. It's very telling. It's not blaming Carr. I'm not blaming McDaniels. I'm not saying either one of them are at fault, this and that. I'm just saying the relationship is not there. The offense was not built for Derek Carr's strengths. So Derek Carr is retreating because he's worried, he's afraid, he's not picking it up correctly, and he's like, I don't talk to Josh. I don't know. And he's trying to tell the media and everybody else, look, Josh is a fucking micromanager. And this offense doesn't fit me very well, or I don't think it fits me. I'll learn how to play in it, and I'll figure it out as soon as possible. But I'm not enjoying this offense or Josh McDaniels micromanaging. And Derek Carr is afraid to speak up. He was afraid with Gruden, and he's afraid with McDaniels to take some fucking power back. Let's hear it again in his own words. There's something wrong with this relationship. Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels, so far, are not in sync.
But at the end of the day, like, I'm going to listen to Josh in my progressions and what he's telling me in the game, and we're trying to set things up to get the ball a certain place and all that kind of stuff. And it takes repetition. It takes time. You know, we're only 3 games in to us playing together again, you know, and it hasn't been all bad, you know. And so for me to not want to throw it to him or anything like that, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
He's referring to Dan Orlovsky, that we're going to talk about in a second, calling him out about a conspiracy about Davante Adams. That's what he's speaking about right there. He's reacting to what Dan Orlovsky said that we'll watch in a minute.
Davante get all the yards and all the catches, but if you flip him in max numbers, no one says anything, you know. And so we talked about this before the season, that there's going to be some times where that happens, you know, and we're going to be talking about, well, where's this guy's targets? And then where's Darren's targets? Where's this? And we knew this was coming. You know, I tried to warn everybody, but I knew that this would come, especially.
Look at him taking the high word. I tried to warn everybody. I tried to warn everybody that, you know, we're going to struggle in Josh McDaniels' system. I tried to warn everybody that this is going to happen. One week it's going to be this player, the next week it's going to be that player, and we're going to struggle. I warned everybody. No, you didn't. You fucking motherfucker. You didn't warn nobody. You didn't warn nobody. You probably said, yeah, it's good, you know, we're going to learn who we play good together with 1 week after the next. But you didn't really warn it. You didn't say, hey, everybody, I'm warning you. Davante Adams is going to have 17 targets the first week, and then maybe 3 or 4 the next couple weeks. And Mac Hollins is going to become a superstar in fantasy football. You didn't warn us.
You know, and we're going to be talking about, well, where's this guy's targets? And then where's Darren's targets? Where's this? And we knew this was coming. You know, I tried to warn everybody, but I knew that this would come, especially when Tay showed up and everyone was excited to watch us play together, right? But again, I got nothing wrong with Dan. You know, I've always respected Dan, and there's nothing there for me. But when it comes to the reads and all that kind of stuff, I'm just going to do my best ability what Josh wants me to do.
I warned everybody, but at the end of the day, I just do what Josh tells me to do. Keep setting up that narrative, Derek Carr. Keep setting up that narrative so you're not the fall guy. I understand. A lot of people hate on you. You're not to blame, Derek. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not to blame for all this. The blame can go every which way. But a lot of it has to do with the head coach. And I guess you're trying to tell everybody that the head coach is the problem. And you warned everybody. Let's move along, y'all. Let's move along. All right, let's watch a little bit of that conspiracy from the really bad quarterback that threw the ball out of his own end zone. Talking about Derek Carr's problems and how he's making it a conspiracy to purposely not throw the ball to his best friend. Michael Demean, you're a Carr hater, huh, Michael? Thank you for the super chat. You said no backbone Carr. Look, I love Carr. He's the franchise. He's going to struggle. I hate on him some weeks. I love him on other weeks. Again, overall, he's just proven not to be a winning quarterback so far. And you could blame it on a million things. So it is what it is. But right now, I'm looking at it from right now. And right now, you're right. He has no backbone. And he's setting up a narrative which he should not do. Should not do. All right, let's listen to this ridiculous conspiracy from Dan Orlovsky going over the game plan. Didn't he fart on like Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago, live on TV? Dan Orlovsky, let's listen to this ridiculous conspiracy. If you guys believe this conspiracy from Dan Orlovsky, then like me, you should believe in flat Earth.
And then you go on the road and you're handling Arizona, and the game falls apart. And you start, they really stopped featuring Devontae a little bit in that second half of that game. And then this past weekend was the most shocking one to me. And again, I don't ever say anything that I don't believe. I don't ever try to stir up controversy.
What? How did you get big at ESPN? By stirring up controversy, you fucking moron. You farted on live television a week ago just to get in the headlines. Your name is plastered everywhere. Dan Orlovsky farts on football TV. Thursday Night Football. Oh, God. Let's hear this bogus lie.
Literally try to do my job better than anybody. Watching this past weekend, it looks like Derek Carr is purposely not looking at Devontae Adams. That's what the tape says. There's 5 examples of it where, and the way I'm going to say it is this.
Yeah, I'm Derek Carr. You're my best friend. We brought you in for like millions and millions of dollars. I'm purposely not going to look at you. I want to go to Mac Hollins. He's cheaper. We can sign him cheaper next year. Devontae Adams, I'm a little mad at you. Was he the player that he was calling out at the press conference a couple of weeks ago for not showing up in practices or during training camp? I don't know. I thought it was Darren Waller. Was it Devontae? I don't know. But let's hear more mumbo jumbo from Dan Orlovsky about the 5 plays he saw. He saw 5 plays. Wi-Fi Willie does a great breakdown of those 5 plays that he's talking about. Hopefully I'll link the video down below from a couple days ago for Wi-Fi Willie. Even Devontae Adams in his press conference said, they're double teaming me, triple teaming me, they're rolling safeties to my side. And we know Derek Carr's afraid to throw interceptions because in week 1 he threw 3 of them. And he targeted Devontae and Darren Waller a lot in those games where he threw the 3 interceptions. And everybody's mad at Derek Carr for throwing interceptions, so Derek Carr's technically afraid to throw it into double, triple coverage. And if you look at those plays, thanks to Wi-Fi Willie, the defensive cornerbacks and safeties and players, linebackers, were a lot closer than people think to Devontae Adams. Hence why Derek Carr looked in opposite directions. Or Derek Carr didn't even look that way, according to Dan Orlovsky. I don't know. Let's finish what he says, and let's move the F on.
If we just took X's and O's, right? These guys don't have reputation and/or resumes, and you had an offensive play call and the defensive play call. The defense is this, and you sit there and say, well, this play that I have, the route concept to my left stinks versus that defense. But I know I've got the route concept to my right is really good versus that defense. I don't care who those people are. It's just a defensive structure, the X's and O's. Well, I'm going to throw the ball to my right, naturally, because the play to my left stinks. It's the worst possible coverage for that play. 5 times this past weekend, he's looking to the side of the worst possible concept versus the defense, and Devontae is actually in the best possible side, and he won't look there.
So
He's
why?
not looking there.
Why?
I don't know. And I don't know if that's a thing, but I know a guy who's played as much football as Derek Carr and as smart as Derek Carr and sees the field relatively as well as Derek Carr. And I've watched him operate these plays all day long. I mean, and you can sit here and say, well, Dan, you don't know what he's getting taught. Yes, I do. I've run those plays 4 billion times. You know, the high schools are run these plays. They're going to.
He brought up high school. This ridiculous quarterback is calling out Derek Carr with a conspiracy against Devontae Adams, talking about that, Derek Carr's throwing it to the worst possible people and avoiding Devontae Adams. And Dan Orlovsky says, when he says, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I was talking about. I've run these plays 1 million times in high school.
I've run those plays 4 billion times. You know, the high schools are run these plays. They're going to get taught the same way. So it literally, the tape tells me you're consciously, like, in your mind saying,
You know what Derek Carr's thinking? He's consciously making that decision. Man, nobody can figure anybody out. The men haven't figured women out in a million years. What makes you think you're going to figure Derek Carr is consciously making a decision to not throw it to Davante Adams?
Like in your mind saying, I can't force it to Davante, that you're going so far out of your way to not look at him.
I mean, that ending statement can be a little true because of the interceptions, where he knows that Davante has double coverage, so he sees it at the line of scrimmage, and he's like, I can already see there's going to be a lot of players in that area. So, let me take a look at Mac Hollins over here in single coverage. I mean, it's all interesting. Derek Carr responded. He had no ill will, as we heard a few minutes ago, against Dan Orlovsky and whatever. So it is what it is. So that brings me back to this. Is there hidden issues? Is there a conspiracy with Derek Carr versus Davante Adams or Josh McDaniels' game plan? You guys let me know your thoughts. There's definitely some issues. Again, we just spoke about it. Something is not being communicated or not proper between Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr. I know that everybody wants to blame somebody, and technically this week they're blaming Josh McDaniels more than Carr because Carr had a decent week. But in week 1, they were blaming Derek Carr for all the interceptions. So it's going to be a week-to-week thing with a lot of fans. It's like 50-50. Blame can go around as well to everybody, as well as the defense, as we spoke about. The defense is playing all right. The offense needs to score more than the defense gives up weekly, and that's not happening. And Derek Carr is saying, I just want to do what Josh tells me, leave it up to Josh, his game plan. I want to do what he throws it to the player he tells me, blah, blah, blah. Are you setting up a narrative? What's going on? We spoke about that. I don't know. Are you purposely missing Davante Adams? I don't think so. I think you're avoiding certain situations. And if Mac Hollins is getting open on single coverage, Josh McDaniels is probably telling you, hey, you know what? They're double teaming and triple teaming Davante. Give Mac Hollins some looks. On this play, look for Mac Hollins or whatever. And then Derek Carr is doing what Josh tells him to do. But therein lies the problem with Josh McDaniels, as we spoke about. He clearly did not build a system with Derek Carr's strengths in mind, or make the strengths more of the offense. He clearly has his own offense with Brady and whoever else, and he's working it out with the Raider players on a week-to-week basis. Do you remember the first play in the game in week 1? They threw it to Davante deep. He didn't catch it, but they went deep to show the offensive power right away in the beginning of the game. Davante Adams had a good game because Derek Carr targeted the high priority paid players in that game. He did not mix the ball around a lot. He targeted Davante Adams 17 times. Why? Because Josh McDaniels told him to, made the game plan, wanted to see Davante Adams, and thought Davante would be open and win that game for them. That was Josh McDaniels' game plan in week 1. Long story short, Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions because he forced it, in his mind, to the player that Josh McDaniels wanted it to, instead of spreading the ball around. In week 2, who was targeted? Waller and Renfro. Why? Because Davante was called out in the press of getting too many targets. And Derek was afraid to target Davante Adams in week 2 as much as he did in week 1 because he didn't want to throw interceptions. So Derek Carr stopped throwing the ball deep to Davante, started bringing the ball closer to Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, who apparently he had a problem with for not practicing correctly or being up to par. Then Hunter Renfrow tried too much and fumbled the ball at key moments. There's a lot of blame to go around in that game. But there was a razzle-fucking-dazzle play in every game that we're going to talk about in a minute. What the fuck is up with these razzle-dazzle plays? Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr are testing every player in their offense on different plays against different schemes in every week. Let's call it Davante Adams week 1. Then Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow in week 2. Then week 3 was clearly Mac Hollins and Darren Waller. They're trying to learn what works. Unfortunately, they didn't get that timing down in the preseason, but they're trying to pick plays that work with each individual player in each defensive scheme that they see, so Derek Carr can build up 10 or 15 plays for each player in each instance that he thinks will work. They're testing the waters. That's what Josh McDaniels is doing, testing the waters. And unfortunately, this happens a lot with Derek Carr in a new system that he struggles his first 3 or 4 games under any new head coach. Jack Del Rio, John Gruden, Dennis Allen, etc. He struggles in those first 3 or 4 games. Now, Josh McDaniels, when he was the head coach for the Broncos, started out 0-6. Then he got fired because he started losing. His play calling got less aggressive. He stopped listening to players, blah, blah, blah. And then this year he said he's going to listen to players more. He's going to take their input and all that. Well, clearly by what Derek Carr is saying, it doesn't look like Derek Carr has an input into the offense at this moment. Maybe that's Derek Carr's fault for not opening up his mouth and not putting some plays in there, or forcing McDaniels to put in some plays or to give him the calls that he likes. I don't know what it is, but they're clearly not on the same page. But they are testing the waters right now, and there can be no more testing in week 4. They probably got at least 4 or 5 plays that work with each player in each instance, even Josh Jacobs or Foster Moreau or whoever else is in there. They probably got 4 or 5 plays now in memory that should work and be good for Derek Carr in this week's game versus the Broncos. So are there hidden issues? Clearly. Was there a conspiracy by Derek Carr against Davante Adams? No. Is he sending hidden messages to hopefully not take the blame because he's worried for future losses or bad games or bad play calling? Is there a conspiracy where he's giving hidden messages for that, for Derek Carr? Yes, there is. We just proved it. Let's look at the Raiders team stats so far. Derek Carr has 850 yards on the season. I don't know the averages, but his QBR is 51. It's not so good. He's averaging 2 touchdowns a game, which is decent. Josh Jacobs, one of the best runners on the team, 192 yards. Carried the ball 42 times. Mac Hollins is the leading receiver on the Raiders after week 3. And that just proves how good Davante is with double teams. But Mac Hollins deserves it, but he will not be the leader after week 4 or 5. That is my prediction. Raiders are averaging 266.7 passing yards with the 7th in the NFL. Rushing yards, 80 yards a game, which is 28th. They're clearly not rushing the ball enough, or they got a lot of offensive line problems. But Josh Jacobs, I think, is averaging like 3.8 or 4 yards a carry. The points in the game were averaging 21.3. But I'm sure on defense we're giving up more. Hence why we're losing. We're 11th. And points against us, there it is. We're giving up 25.7 a game. We're tied for 8th in the league. So if we can get our offense to score 26 points a game, which they should with a high-powered offense, again, into the struggles. Here's our offensive line. We got Keelan Cole taking over for Hunter Renfrow, as we'll speak about. I'm not going to go into all the details here. The show's getting really, really long because I talk so damn much because I haven't been online in a while. Let's just quickly talk about Josh McDaniels' play calling issues. Does he have any? Yes, he does. He is, like Derek Carr, is unsure of himself at many times. Like I just said, I believe he's testing the waters against defenses and schemes because he is now an official head coach. He had Bill Belichick and the other players on coaches for defense, but he doesn't have Tom Brady. And he's never had, beyond Randy Moss, he's never had a wide receiver like Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and now a Mac Hollins to complement his quarterback, which is clearly not as good as a Tom Brady. But like the year with Randy Moss, they threw the ball to Randy Moss on every play. He tried that in week 1. Then his quarterback threw too many interceptions. So he had to redress his play calling and simplify it and try to figure out what works with Derek Carr. And again, they're not on the same page. Is it because, like I just said, he has too many options to play with? Because Josh McDaniels has never had this many options to play with. Or is he just testing and was hoping to get victories in the first 3 or 4 weeks for later in the season? The Patriots start out slow in most years when they're like 2-2 or 1-3 under Josh McDaniels, even with Mac Jones, the new quarterback from last year. Perennially, Josh McDaniels has struggled in those first 4 games, but the Patriots were so good in other areas that they always won 2 games at least or bounced back. Is that what will happen with the Raiders? I hope so. He started 0-6 with the Broncos and then got fired after losing a lot of games. Let's hope karma is reversing itself, where he starts out 0-3, and then we get some big victories, and he'll not be fired. You know, like it was in Denver. But his play calling is definitely suspect. Wi-Fi Willie does a good breakdown as well in one of his videos. Hopefully I'll put it down below later. But his play calls, the razzle-dazzle shit with Devontae Adams running in the backfield, throwing the ball to Mac Hollins, Mac throwing it back to Derek Carr, Derek Carr becoming a blocker. You know, stop overdoing it. Stop it. It will not work, those razzle-dazzle plays all the time. And why do we have to do 1 or 2 or 3 of them a game? Why? Why, Josh McDaniels? We're only down by 7 or 10. It's not like the game's over. And then why do you do it like on 3rd down? Why do you do these ridiculous play calls on 3rd down where you have Darren Waller and Devontae Adams running the same route toward each other in the red zone where Derek Carr has to somehow throw it between 17 people? You got to get better with your play calling. You must. Hopefully, like I said, you're testing. You're trying to figure out what works with Carr, what he can do in your system, and you're going to figure it out. It has to be this week. There's Derek Carr stats. QBR 48, they say, 60% completion. Derek Carr is projected to throw for 4,817 yards this year with 34 touchdowns. But 23 interceptions, according to their projections. Oh, my goodness. 23. It's like 2 a game, almost. Let's look at Davante Adams stats. He's averaging 11 yards a reception, 189, 17 receptions, 3 reception touchdowns. He's projected to have 1,071 yards, 17 touchdowns. And he's projected for rushing to have minus 23 yards, thanks to all those razzle-dazzle bullshit plays where he gets stuffed in the backfield. Did you ever see Davante Adams do razzle-dazzle plays in the backfield in Green Bay? I don't remember that. You can get your best wide receiver injured with stupid plays like that. Ridiculous. All right, let's quickly break down the offensive line. This is another problem I have with Josh McDaniels, is our right side of the line situation and all the young players, whether it be trading Leatherwood, not believing in him, drafting 2 offensive linemen. They are playing decently as of last week. But still, they keep switching them in and out during the preseason. They keep putting one player in for one game, switching another player in the middle of the game, testing the waters where nobody can get a stride. No young rookie can get a stride. They're being told they're going to start the game, but do they finish? No, they get taken out, or they put in there Mumford or whatever, or then injuries to Parham where he had to play center. It just, it seems like from a coaching perspective that Josh McDaniels does not have belief in anybody, whether it be Derek Carr to give him a game plan, whether it be to Davante Adams to put him in the game plan and not give him razzle-dazzle plays, or the offensive line to keep switching him out. He's second-guessing himself at every position Josh McDaniels is. We already got enough second-guessing from Derek Carr. We don't need it from our coaches, especially our head coach. Pick a fucking player. Put him in there. He's going to struggle. He's a rookie. It's a new scheme, even for Colton Miller. It's a new scheme for everybody. It's new verbiage. New blocking assignments for Colton Miller, everybody. That's why you should have played some of them more, the starters, in preseason. But that being said, pick a player and stick with him for at least a week or 2. If he's that effing bad where Derek Carr gets sacked or hit 90 times, of course you got to pull him out. But stick with somebody. Show them some fucking grit. Let these young players learn on the job. Then we're going to come back in just a second, and we're going to talk about a possible trade that is looming on the horizon. Then we're going to get into a Denver Bronco preview, and I'll be right back. Hope you guys are enjoying. So let's go over Jack Del Rio's first month as a Raiders coach. He cut Trent Richardson.
Say what?
Trades Theo Moore.
Say what?
Trades Bryce Butler.
Okay, what the
and loses in a blowout in the Raiders' home opener of possibly the final season in Oakland.
Say what?
Cut! No, man. You're making me fall asleep. To death, bro. Okay, the line is... Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say...
What? What?
Say what?
Dante! This character is not me.
Say what?
Stop it!
Say what? It's your boy Mikey Raider. We are now entering hour number 3. Or after 2. On Raider Football Talk, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button for notifications, and hit the bell for notifications when I go live. Just letting everybody know that I am live. Please leave your phone calls on the rant hotline to be on a future show. The reason we have such a long AF show today because I haven't done a show about a month. So we're getting to a lot of news, and I'm trying to have a good day. I'm going to have a lot of clips to cut from this show and post on my channel in the coming week. I'll try to do a post-game review like on Monday or Tuesday, and I'm thinking about having a Mondays with Mikey and Murph show, after the 4th game of the season, or maybe the 5th game before the bye. We'll figure that one out in the coming days. I just want to say hello and thank everybody for being online. Darth Vader Raider, what's up, dude? What's up, JC Raider? What's up, Anthony? All eyes on G. Sick with it. Y'all are still with me, and I freaking love you. Thank you guys for doing your laundry while listening to me. Thank you guys for masturbating while listening to me. Thank you guys for drinking your beers and your cerveza, eating tacos while listening to me. Thank you guys for doing nothing but loving me and hitting that like button and listening to me. Say what? We just had a video about the first month of Jack Del Rio being the new head coach with crazy personnel decisions. I have to say with Josh McDaniels in terms of play calling and building his team and decision making with players on the field, I have to say, what? Is there a trade incoming for Josh Jacobs? Well, everybody remembers during the preseason and the offseason, when the Raiders did not pick up Josh Jacobs' 5th-year option, there was rumors on Twitter that Josh McDaniels and Josh Jacobs might have had a falling out. He doesn't believe in him. Clearly, Josh McDaniels doesn't believe in a lot of players. He doesn't put a game plan for Derek Carr. He doesn't put the right, offensive line players in with any fucking conviction, to let them learn. And, he's really quick to take somebody out if he doesn't like what they're doing. Josh Jacobs had a bunch of fumbles last year, but that's okay. He's still the best running back on the team. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. There was rumors swirling that they were having issues off the field. Josh Jacobs was interviewed about it. He said, I'm here to do my job. I can't think about that. And there was rumors that he was going to be traded before the regular season came. I actually agreed with those rumors. I thought it was a good possibility. By them bringing on so many running backs and drafting 2 running backs, bringing on Brandon Bolden, Amir Abdullah, and with Josh Jacobs going to cost $4 to $7 to $8 million next year. I thought that was in the cards. It didn't happen. We kept him on the roster. He's playing pretty damn good right now, and we love him. We love Josh Jacobs. He ain't going to be a Raider next year, but we all love Josh Jacobs. Sorry, I'm trying to see where I got the pictures. Let's look at Josh Jacobs' stats this year real quickly. 4.6 yards a carry, 192 rushing yards, 42 rushing attempts. They're projecting him for 1,088 yards with an average of 4.6. They average him with no touchdowns. Projection, no touchdowns because he doesn't have any. And they 40 receptions, 334 yards. Interesting, right? Interesting. So, with that being said, we are 0-3. We know the rumors about Josh Jacobs being traded before the season began with all the players we have on our roster, the running backs, and the money and them declining its 5th-year option. Well, hypothetically, not pathetically, hypothetically, if the Raiders start out 0-5, because we got the Chiefs and the Broncos, The trade deadline, I believe, is in like week 9 or 10. If the Raiders start out 0-5, 1-6, 1-5, 2-6, 2-7, whatever, I don't know. Knowing that his 5th-year option wasn't picked up and that he's averaging 4.6 yards a carry, and with other teams with injury problems, could Josh Jacobs be traded during the season? Knowing we have Amir Abdullah, Brandon Bolden, Zamir White, the other rookie running back, knowing that we're probably out of the playoffs, we're not going to win the AFC West, would Josh McDaniels trade Josh Jacobs in season to get a 5th-round draft pick? Something like that. Would he do it? Could he do it? You guys let me know in the chat. It might happen. We need to start winning more than we're losing the next 3 or 4 weeks. But if we're losing still, mark this shit on your whiteboard. Mark this on your whiteboard. That if we're losing, Josh Jacobs might be traded to another team. Somebody chime in the chat room. I don't know if it stopped. I don't see anybody chiming in. I'd like to know that we're still live. I can't really... It says we're live, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I do not know. You guys let me know if we're still live. Okay, yep, Tupac said, yep, we good. All right, I tried to look. Thank you, guys. So this might be a trade. Do you guys think they're going to trade him? What are the possibilities? What is the percentage? Again, as of right now, it's 20%. If we lose a lot more, like I said, another 3 or 4 games in the next 5 or 6 weeks, I'm going to bring that up to 75%. I'm going to bring that up to 75%. You know Josh McDaniels will try to build for the future, especially if he did somehow have a problem with Josh Jacobs. But Josh Jacobs, to my knowledge, hasn't fumbled this year. He hasn't scored a touchdown, but he's catching more balls out of the backfield. He's averaging 4.6. He's balling out as best as he can, trying to win a job or get some money from somebody. Tupac 100, you said you always thought that was the plan? Hey, well, I didn't think that. I thought it was before the season, not in the season. You know, the value, in my opinion, is better before the season starts, with injuries and training camp. But you might be right, brother. 10% from JC Raider added per each loss. That's a good percentage, dude. That's a good percentage. That is a good percentage. All right, we'll leave it at that. We're going to come back. We're going to do our Denver Broncos game preview. And I'm going to give you my predictions for the rest of the season and this week's game. And we're going to break it down from my perspective. And let's watch some funny Bronco videos right now from my past, because it's Bronco week. Since it's Bronco week, let's just keep laughing at the Denver Broncos and anything they're about. Here's the best of Bronco funnies.
This is it. We're down to our last morsel of food.
Well, guys, since it looks like we're gonna die, there's something I should tell you. I watch men's figure skating.
You what? How could you? Okay. I cried watching Karate Kid 3.
I've never seen Caddyshack. I've just been quoting lines from the movie.
Let it out. Just let it out.
Okay. I'm a Raiders fan.
Okay, so the Broncos.
Let's talk about the Broncos tonight. First of all, we would have totally won if it weren't raining because that made the ball wet. Everyone was slipping out of their hands like a wet bar of soap. But let's be honest, okay? Kyle Orton sucks. What we need to do is we need to bring Tim Tebow in. Young, athletic Tim Tebow. Commitment to excellence, sir. And pride and poise, sir. What do we do? Just win, baby.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Watch up, lady. Man, I was in that shit, man. I never had no dope like that before in my life, man. That's the heaviest shit I ever smoked, man. I mean, I smoked a lot of shit before, man. Well, goddamn, man, that's heavy shit. What can I say? Raider Nation hooks you up. I can't breathe. Relax, we'll win some games. I can't breathe, man. Look, the Raiders will make the playoffs, I promise. Oh, man, speaking of that, check it out. I bought some magic pills, right? They help the Raiders win. Okay. Here, take it. I've known no shit like that before. That's why I bought some magic pills to help the Raiders win. Here. What is that, man? It's a magic pill, man. Take it. Oh, hey, wait. Don't take those, man. Those are for the Broncos.
I love some of those videos, man. I had to silence the Star Wars one a little bit. I'm probably going to get a copyright for the damn audio. But that Cheech and Chong one, man, that was fun. That was with a video game that came out, like, for the computer, where you put yourself in the movies. I still got that game, but it came out for PlayStation. Didn't work very well. But I like making those type of videos. Like, if I could figure out a way to put myself in the movies again, I don't have good editing knowledge, but if I can get that video game to work on my PC, I'd like to do more videos like that where I put myself in as a Raider fan in those movies. That'd be pretty damn fun. Pretty damn fun. All right, everybody. Let's go into this week's game, and I'm going to give a declaration at the end that you all might have to hold me accountable to. And let's get started. So the other day on Twitter, I posted a poll. Mikey Raider likes poles. Not only strippers on poles, I like the North Poles. I like ice poles. Well, they're called, ice creams or ice lollies from Salute Your Shorts. But I like polls. So I did a Raider Central live poll on my Twitter. It's at Mikey Raider. Link below, hopefully. After the Raiders' 0-3 start, would you say this is a must-win game versus the Broncos? I only let it up for about an hour before I took this picture at 51 votes. 94% of you motherfuckers. 94 of y'all said, yup. This is a must-win game. I have to agree. I feel like technically our season's not over, but if we start out 0-4, then we got to go against the Chiefs, who we constantly lose to. There's a possibility we're 0-5. And in order to make a wild card, you probably got to be 11-6. You might be able to be 10-7 like we were last year, I believe. But I don't think that's going to hold up again this year. I don't know. But still, if you got to be 10-7 and we possibly have already lost 5 games, oh, that means we got to be like perfect. Almost perfect everywhere. So this is a must-win game. Must win. If we don't fucking win it, it's over. It's over. It's over. Not technically. The believers will still believe with the Pfizer face. Justin Bieber has the Pfizer face. Had to cancel his concerts. It's a rare disease that never showed up in my entire life until I got the vaccine. It's called the Pfizer face. But the vaccine is safe. I'm just joking, y'all. YouTube, relax. Relax, YouTube. Relax. Back to Twitter. This is a must-win game to 94% of you. You guys check it out. Put your vote on my Twitter and let me know. And speaking of the corniest team in the NFL, Russell Wilson, corny. His new football that he throws, that he made, called the Arrow Blade or whatever, ridiculous. It's made of plastic. Who makes a football that can be thrown longer, like 100 yards, but made of plastic? Who's going to catch the ball? The people catching the ball getting their fingers cut with the plastic. The Russell Wilson ball that he created called the Arrow Blade or whatever the hell it's called, the Arrow B, made of plastic. It cuts people up. Oh, but you could turn the hinge. The hinge turns, so you can throw it to the left, to the right, or down the middle. Who the hell's catching a piece of plastic that's like being thrown at you, cutting their fingers? For little kids to play, learn and throw the ball further, playing football. Russell Wilson, boy, you created a project that are injuring 1 million people. Then you call yourself Mr. Unlimited? You're Mr. Limited with the Broncos, right? Then you got Nathaniel can't fucking hack it. But yet they're 2-1. Then we got Josh McDumbass for the Raiders, making some really ridiculous play calls, testing his team out, not, picking his situations correctly, not grabbing his balls, playing the right players, and sticking with them. The Raiders faced the Broncos. I think the series is all-time is pretty close to being tied, probably like 51, 52, whether it be Broncos or Raiders winning the most. This is a must-win. Somehow they are 2-1 with their ridiculous, corny fucking team. Coming into Vegas for a must-win game. The final injury report came out a few hours ago, and it's not looking so good, y'all. All right, this is the Broncos injury report. I don't care. Tyrell Cleveland, wide receivers out. Jonathan Cooper, sounds like an ex-Raider. Didn't we have a Jonathan Cooper on offense or defense? He's out. DJ Jones, defensive end, questionable. Darius Phillips is out, cornerback. Maybe that helps us. Maybe it doesn't. Dalton River, guard, questionable. Maybe it helps us. Maybe it don't. I don't know. Billy Turner, offensive lineman, completely out. Maybe that helps us. Maybe it don't. I don't know. Melvin Gordon, full practice. Quern Maneras, guard or center, out. Then at the bottom, K'Wan Williams, cornerback, full participation. That's from the Broncos side of the ball. Let's look at the Raiders' final injury report. Neil Farrell, full participation, defensive tackle. Nate Hobbs, concussion protocol, full practice on Friday. Should be good to go. We need him. Andre James sat out last week for Dylan Parham in the concussion protocol. Full participation all 3 days. We got him back at center, so now we can use Parham on the right side if we need him at right guard. Colton Miller has been struggling a little bit this season. The offensive line played better as a whole last week, but he had it as an ankle injury. He was limited, full participation. Colton Miller's probably going to be limited participation almost every week, like as a veteran. I think that would be the best option for the left tackle for Derek Carr, to be limited. Have rest days as a veteran for Derek Carr. Trayvon Morrig, safety, has a hip issue. Full participation on Friday. Foster Moreau creeped up on me. Knee injury. Did not participate. He is out. Foster Moreau is out. So I think the other tight end is Bowers maybe. But still, this puts the onus on Darren Waller even more. To block better, to play better, to catch the ball, and to get open. Foster Moreau is a good outlet for Derek Carr when he doesn't believe in Waller. But Foster Moreau is out this game. That's a big loss, guys. Albeit in the run blocking game. Because technically, we don't play a game with a fullback all the time for running like we did under Gruden. Under Gruden with Alec Ingold, probably 80% of the time we had a fullback in front of JACOBS or a tight end. And hence tight end Foster Moreau in a 2 tight end set would be the blocker for JACOBS as well. He's out. Bilal Nichols, shoulder, full participation. Denzel Perryman, thank goodness, full participation. Looks like he's going to play. Now, the big one. Hunter Renfrow was out last week with a concussion. He did not participate all week this week as well. He is out. Hence, Keelan Cole will probably take up spot duties. Mac Hollins is the other side of Devontae. He doesn't really take over for Hunter. That'll be either Keelan Cole or the other wide receivers on the roster. But yeah, this is a bad one. We need to get Hunter back as soon as possible. Especially to get over the game of fumbling and kind of losing the game for us or whatever. He's too valuable. And we all know that concussions can keep some players out longer, and sometimes, not all the time, but I have seen it happen, have been, dare I say it, blankers, enders. We're not going to go there. Let him rest up, get his health. Rock Yashin, knee, limited participation, questionable. That means Amik Robinson might be the cornerback that plays for him. And he said in the press conference he's available and willing to go in if they need him at cornerback. So Amik Robinson might play for Rock Yashin if he doesn't go or if he's injured early in the game. Jonathan Hankins, groin injury, full participation. That's good to hear. He's one of our best defensive tackles. But they started the season without him. They started with Billings and the other guy. Hankins wasn't even the starter. But that's interesting. And then again, we're struggling at the cornerback situation, hence why they signed another safety, because they're probably going to take a safety and put him at cornerback if they need to. But Sam Webb, a cornerback, has a hamstring. He's questionable as well. All right, let's let this play in the background, and let's see some of their stats on the game plan from the NFL networks or whatever. Sunday, the Raiders face the Denver Broncos in a must-win matchup, coming off a ugly loss where Darren Waller and the team was not on the same page. Now the Raiders are coming in to face Mr. Unlimited and Melvin Gordon and that vaunted rushing attack of Javonte Williams and rusher Limited Williams, coming off a very, very close 11-10 game versus the San Francisco 49ers, where they pulled up and won it in the end against a very good offensive-led team. Derek Carr seems to have his play-calling abilities, and the pass defense for the Broncos versus Jimmy Garoppolo, they gave up an interception and an 81% pass rate. I'm trying to read it. Trying to do play-by-play off the cusp. Probably not doing a good job. Davante Adams needs to be targeted more. Patrick Surtain is going to cover Davante Adams possibly. He gave up only 6 targets. He gave up no receptions and only 2 pass defense. Patrick Surtain is going to be all over Davante Adams. Expect Davante Adams to struggle a little bit this week against a second-year player in Patrick Surtain. Davante Adams has a touchdown in every game so far. In last week's game, he had 10 targets, 5 receptions for only 38 yards, and a touchdown. There seems to be a struggle between Davante Adams and Dan ORLOFSKY and Derek Carr. Something's going on. Derek Carr likes to throw the ball to the outside numbers to Davante Adams, and they haven't been in sync since week 1. They hope to get that back on track for Week 4 versus the Broncos and Patrick Surtain. Now, Mac Hollins, a young player that came out of nowhere in relief, was targeted by Derek Carr, who had 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for an 85.7% rate versus the Tennessee Titans defense that is at times struggling. Derek Carr's like, what's going on? Why couldn't we beat the Titans? Darren Waller struggled in that game. He had 5 targets for 3 receptions and only 22 yards. Derek Carr and Darren Waller have been calling each other out in press conferences without names. They seek to get revenge this week versus the Broncos with Foster Moreau out. The Broncos' pass defense versus George Kittle gave up 4 receptions for 28 yards on 5 targets. So expect Darren Waller to have his opportunities to have a big game. Mac Hollins in Week 3 versus the Titans got 10 targets, 8 receptions for 158 yards and a touchdown, as Devontae Adams was being triple covered, and look for the Broncos to do the same coverage again, but maybe slide somebody toward Mac Hollins. Josh Jacobs is a great runner this year. 13 carries last week for 86 yards, a 5.1 yards per carry average versus the Titans. Josh Jacobs is the clear bear cow in this offense. The Broncos have a good rush defense. They gave up 12 carries and 75 yards for Jeff Wilson. They are one of the better run defenses in the league, the Broncos are. So expect Josh Jacobs to have his hands full, and expect more carries to start the run game for the Raiders, and expect a touchdown from Josh Jacobs in this week's game, as they need to get him a touchdown. Melvin Gordon in the passing game for the Broncos out of the backfield got 6 targets, 5 receptions, but for only 29 yards. Russell Wilson is struggling this season, 184 yards, 5.8 yards per average, with a 75% rate. He's actually higher than Derek Carr in last week's game versus the 49ers. Cortland Sutton, one of their best wide receivers, has gotten 10 targets, 8 receptions for 97 yards last week. He is their go-to man, with Jerry Jeudy struggling and not paying dividends in his 3rd year so far. The Raiders' pass defense versus Ryan Tannehill struggled, gave up 264 yards, a 98.4 quarterback ratio to Ryan Idiot Tannehill. Raiders defense is worst in the league in giving up passes. Max Crosby in Week 3 had 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 pressures in, might I say, 61 snaps. I remember that number. Max Crosby needs Chandler Jones to step up, and they need to stop blitzing Abram all the time, or they need to blitz more often and get to the quarterback, Russell Wilson, who's struggling. Chandler Jones in 2022, 0 sacks. Their defense, their O-line, gave up 4 sacks and 9 quarterback hits versus the 49ers. So the Raiders can get to Russell, Mr. Limited. They can get to him. Let's hope that comes to fruition in this week's must-win matchup versus the Donkeys. There are the game picks from the professionals. Adam Rank says the Raiders win. GPG says the Broncos win. Colleen Wolf says the Raiders win barely. Maurice Jones-Drew, former Raider, says the Raiders win. It's all through the board. Everybody's picking the Raiders. Doesn't matter by who scored. The experts are all in agreement. The Raiders should win this game. What are your predictions? What are my predictions? Well, the Raiders will win this game, but it'll be too damn close for comfort, just like every game has been this season. We've lost on average every week this week by less than 5 points per game. The Raiders win 26-24. Russell Wilson will bounce back, and he'll look good this week against our struggling defense, our pass-struggling defense. And their rushing game, I think we're going to stop their rushing game pretty decently. Maybe not out of the backfield, but I think we're going to keep each running back under 70 yards. Hopefully we keep their entire team under 120 yards total. But I believe each running back will not have over 70 yards. I think we're going to play better on run defense this week. This is a bounce back week. This is Darren Waller and Davante Adams week. If history tells me anything, that Derek Carr targets Davante in week 1, Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller a little bit in week 2. Then in week 3, he targets Darren Waller and Matt Collins. History would tell me Keelan Cole playing for an injured Hunter Renfrow might get a lot of targets in this week. He might be a fantasy darling for you guys in fantasy if you want to go out on a limb and make that case. But this should be a Darren Waller 100% bounce back week and a Davante Adams targeted at least 9 or 10 times week. Darren Waller targeted 7 to 10 times week. And a Mac Hollins targeted 6 or 7 times. Josh Jacobs will have, dare I say it? Dare I say it? Over 100 yards. Total scrimmage. Meaning out of the backfield, catching the ball, and rushing. And Josh Jacobs will have his first touchdown of the season. 100%. The Raiders game will come down to a field goal at the end, where the Raiders are down 23-24 with a final 2-minute drive or something. Derek Carr will get the ball down the field. He'll make all the right plays, and he'll win it in the end because Derek Carr has the most wins in the end out of a lot of the quarterbacks that are playing right now. And we get a field goal to win the game 26-24. Daniel Carlson is going to kick three or four field goals in today's game. And there's probably only going to be 2 or 3 touchdowns at most. Probably 2 at most. Again, that's my score prediction. I'm sticking to it. What do you guys? Let me know. I want to read it on screen. Let me know your final score predictions right now for the last couple minutes of this video. Then we're going to get into the schedule prediction for the rest of the season. The Raiders will win 26-24. And I'm letting you guys know this. If the Raiders do not win, if they do not win, I will go live doing the truffle shuffle on every video I make on this channel moving forward. That's a big declaration. I will go live doing the truffle shuffle on every video I make on this channel moving forward for the rest of the season if we do not win. The truffle shuffle is embarrassing. And if you guys want to know what it looks like, let me bring you back this flashback. Then we get into a scheduled prediction. Just want to go home. I don't care about no candy. What? You want to play dress up? Then I can go home? You want me to dress up like the kid from the Goonies because I remind you of him? Oh, God. Help! Guys, let me in. I just saw the most amazing thing. The Raiders beat the Steelers.
Jerk alert. Come on. It's Chump.
Guys, come on, let me in.
First you gotta do the truffle shuffle.
Come on.
Do it.
Come on.
Do it.
Ah. Oh, geez, thanks, guys. Thanks. So, my declaration still stands. If we lose to the Broncos, I will do the Truffle Shuffle like you just saw live on every video I make on this channel moving forward. I don't want to do it. It's kind of embarrassing. It's funny, but it's embarrassing. And I'd rather get a big victory. What's up, Hammer's House? He's online. We got Dominic 5 online. Nick Hill's online. What's up, Nick Hill? We got Lucha Raider. We got Unknown Raider Guy. AllEyesOnG.com. My moderator still, on this show into our third hour. I'm like H3. I'm going for like 3 hours, man. Just to try to make $5 on YouTube. And speaking of trying to make money, Nikhil, my boy, my supporter, I love you, brother. Blessings. Hooked me up with some bones. Some Raider bones. $20. $20 for the great memories when I used to live in Fresno and watch all your videos, brother. Thank you, bro, for the nostalgia. Thank you for the support, the fandom, the friendship. And I hope you're making new memories with these new videos. I know they're not the same as the old videos, but it's like that song. The new boss is the same as the old boss. I forgot how it goes. But we're entering hour number 3, but we're going to finish it there. Let's get into my final season predictions of how many games we're going to win now that we know what the Raiders look like into week 4. Do it with me online in the chat room. Let's do this. Let's get the picture on screen. All right, there it is. There's our schedule. We won all 4 in the preseason, and I told y'all I did not want to win all 4 games in the preseason. People are like, yeah, we 4-0 in the preseason. We 4-0 in the preseason. Raider Nation woo. Raider Nation woo. Now we're like, what's going on? Fucking Derek Carr. Fucking Josh McDaniels. Fucking Devontae Adams. Fucking Darren Waller. I had to spend $5,000 to watch you guys play the Cardinals and lose to Kyler the Weekend Murray in a final second. That's how much it costs to go to a Raider game. It's like $5 million. You got to get vaccinated. You got to pay $5,000. Yeah, they ain't worth it. I'm sorry. I said it. I know I would make memories, see the stadium, hang out with you guys, but they ain't worth it. I gotta travel. I gotta also pay $5,000 for a ticket. Possibly gotta be vaccinated. I don't know if that's still going on like it did last year or whatever. I gotta buy a plane ticket. I gotta get my health right. I gotta go see a doctor. I gotta make sure I can travel. I gotta get the real ID because I don't think you could even travel on a plane anymore or go out of state without a vaccine or the real ID. It ain't worth it. It is not worth it to watch this product at 0-3 so far. Just saying. It is not fucking worth it. Fucking $20, $30 on NFL Plus. Watch it on my iPad. Figure out an illegal stream on whatever the Doofu Sports TV app. I actually pay Sunday ticket. Like $400. And then they black out the games. You pay Sunday ticket $400 to watch all the games every week and Red Zone. $400. Yeah, all right, my Raiders play. Yeah, my Raiders are playing the Titans. Yeah, what's up? My Raiders are playing the Titans. Let me turn on Sunday ticket, 10 o'clock in the morning. Watch my Raiders that I pay $400 for. Blacked out. What? How the fuck can they get away with that? They're supposed to show every game. It's blacked out in my region. Blacked out in my region. All right, fuck it. I turn on the VPN. Change my region. I'm going to pick a region where it's not blacked out. I'm going to change my VPN to Atlanta or Tennessee or wherever. Click on it. NFL Sunday ticket cannot work with a VPN. NFL recognize you got a VPN. NFL Sunday Ticket did not work with a VPN. But because the game was blacked out versus the Titans on Sunday Ticket, I also paid for NFL Plus. And when a game is blacked out on Sunday Ticket, that means it's a local televised game. So luckily, I was able to watch the game on NFL Plus on my iPad on NFL Plus that I paid like another $30 for the whole year. Thank goodness. And then also NFL Sunday Ticket for $400. They've been fucking up their broadcasting. Look online. Look on Twitter. Their coverage goes out. They black out games. Their red zone goes out. Their video footage cannot play the video stream. Ridiculous. It's their last year, too, with DirecTV Sunday Tickets. The last year. Ridiculous. It ain't worth it. All right, let's get into the predictions. Yeah, you wrote Dofu. Is that real? Yes. Stick with it. Dofu Sports is like an app that you got to put from downloader on your Fire Stick or your Fire Cube or your Roku. Look up how to do it. Somebody will give you instructions online. But Dofu Sports has pretty much all the games. The quality ain't the best, and the game shuts off sometimes in the middle of it. That's why I just pay Sunday Ticket. And I can't watch a game and have something go wrong, man. I go crazy. All right, let's get into the week's predictions. I want you guys to do it with me. Let's start with game one. The Raiders versus the Broncos. I gave it a victory. I'm going to write this down with all of you guys. So hopefully I can remember how many games we win or lose. All right? So, we have lost 3 so far. So, I give this one versus the Broncos, I give it a victory. That's going to be 1 victory. Then we pay at Kansas City. Guys, depending on how good we look in this game, depending on how good we look against the Broncos, will tell us how good we're going to play on Monday Night Football versus the Chiefs. Can we hold up firepower-wise with the Chiefs? We possibly can. With Hunter Renfrow coming back, and if we look that good this week, do we get a victory over the Chiefs? Look, guys, I hope we do. I want us to. But I'm just going to go with the odds right now. They don't look in our favor. You know. Let me give up my tributes. I believe the Raiders lose versus the Chiefs. So that'll be a 4th loss. Then we have the bye week to get everything right. Hopefully, Josh McDumbass is done testing the waters, figuring everything out. Then we play at home versus the Texans. We will beat the Texans. Should beat the Texans. Then we play at New Orleans. They're a high-vaunted team. They look okay. They can play us real well. But I believe we can beat the New Orleans Saints if we get our game right and our mojo after the bye, we beat the Saints. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars. We go to Jacksonville the week after. Back-to-back early morning games. I hope they stay in Florida, where I hope, everybody heals up. They've had a lot of tragedy right now with the man-made hurricanes that tore up Florida. I'm telling you, the Democrats can control the weather. The Democrats can control the weather. They created a hurricane to go through Florida because they don't like Ron DeSantis and they don't like the Republicans and that everybody's moving to Florida. The Democrats did that. That's all I'm going to say. That's a conspiracy. Mikey Raider. The Jacksonville Jaguars got a good fucking team. Trevor Lawrence is having a bounce-back year. That's going to be a tough game. Turnovers will prove that game. Can we win 2 in a row back-to-back? Yes, we can. We're going to get in the groove. We're going to win that game. Then we got the Colts at home in Week 10. I think the Colts are going to fix their shit. They might pull that game out. They might. Again, it's a 50-50 prerogative. I do not know. Then we go to Denver. Denver Broncos are only going to get better. And we beat them this week. We can beat them again in Denver with the altitude. Then we got the Seattle Seahawks. Nick Hill, what did you say? Can I go on my other channel and talk conspiracies? Not really, but I'm going to have a podcast soon called Things That Make You Go, or it's going to be called Going Down the Rabbit Hole. But again, YouTube will censor me and flag me, and I don't want to lose another channel, man. They deplatform you, dude. When you tell the truth, they deplatform you. All right, the Seattle Seahawks now. Week 12 at Seattle. The 12th man. We should be able to beat Seattle and Geno Smith. I'm not going to get into all the specifics. Then we got the Chargers on December 4th. Herbert's probably going to be feeling better. We lost to them in Week 1. They know how to play us. Can we beat them? I just have a really bad feeling that we're going to lose both games to the Chargers this year. But that could go anyway. I'm not speaking with my fandom. I'm speaking with the glass half empty now at this moment. After a couple of victories, maybe over Denver and Kansas City, I'll relook at this stuff. Then we go to L.A. for a Thursday night Amazon Prime game. See, now they got you to buy Amazon. Not only do you got to buy Sunday Ticket, NFL Plus, you now got to buy Amazon Prime. I know they had a trial for 4 weeks, but that ended last night. You got to pay $12 a month for Amazon Prime to watch that game. But you can watch it on your iPad on NFL Sunday Plus for $30. So that's what I'm going to be doing every Thursday night now on. Then we face the Rams. They got too good of a team. I'm saying we lose to the Rams, y'all. I'm saying we lose to the Rams. Now we face the Patriots in a Sunday night game after like 9-10 days rest. Against his former team, Josh McDaniels will do whatever it takes to get a victory, and we will win. Then we face the Steelers. That'll be a must-win for the Raiders and the Steelers. I believe we can pull it out. We beat the Steelers. Then another must-win game for playoffs in my mind versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have kind of held it over us recently. I believe they win that game. Then we got the Kansas City Chiefs in a must-win game to end the season. Might be for playoffs. I'll look at that in a minute. Versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And that is a to-be-determined game, meaning they can flex it on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Monday night. They can flex it if the priorities are straight. But unfortunately, I believe, you know what? We got to be able to win one versus Kansas City. I'm going to give us a victory versus Kansas City. All right. So now we have lost apparently 8 games according to my record. Let's count it up, see if I'm right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. According to my calculations, we are 9-8. That won't get us in the playoffs. That won't get us a wild card, even with 7 spots. I got us at 9-8. You know the games that we need to win? Like I said, we need to win one of the Kansas City games that we should. But remember, I gave the Raiders a loss versus the Chargers on December 4th. And I gave the Raiders a loss versus Indianapolis. We need those fucking games. We need those fucking games. I don't see us beating the Rams, but we could technically beat the Colts and the Chargers. Maybe not the 49ers, but we need that Charger game and that Colts game, then we might be 10-7 or 11-6. Those are the priority games, in my opinion, even though technically they are all priority. So let me know your final season predictions right now at this point. 3-4 if we win the Saints. Let me know your final season predictions now, you guys. So we got Brian chiming in. He has us at 10-7. Let's go, Brian. I'll take that. I'll take 11-6. I'll take 10-7. Nikhil, 10-7. You hope? I'll take that. That might get us in, depending on how the cards and the rankings work. And Unknown Raider guy, he's got us at 9-8, like I do. Lucha Raider, 10-7. Unknown Raider guy says, but I think we'll be better than 9-8. Yeah, we might be 10-7. But again, that Colts game for me and the Chargers, if any one of those are a victory or both of them, then we're doing all right. But we got to fix our ship. We got to get our ship right. And it will start this week versus Denver. But I would hate to win versus Denver than to lose versus Kansas City. Or I would hate to lose versus Denver and then somehow win versus Kansas City. Like, let's win them both and not lose them both, you know? AJ Raider says 10-7. What's up, AJ? How you been? Nikhil, 11-6 sounds crazy with 3 losses already. It does. That's what I'm trying to say. JC Raider, 7-10. A lot pessimistic instead of optimistic. And then Fluffy Compost, the other Fluffy, beyond Gabriel Iglesias or me, says Derek Carr is playing like trash. He's not actually. He's not. He's playing like Derek Carr. He's not playing like trash. They have him on pace for like 35 touchdowns, almost 5,000 yards, but 23 interceptions. Let's get 5 more running backs to run on offensive tackle. I see what you're saying. All right, so there it is. From my prediction, the Raiders are going to be 9-8, but they should be, at best, 11-6. But they're probably going to be 10-7, and I hope that gets us into the playoffs. I love everybody. Thank you guys for chiming in for our 3-hour-long show. And quick question from Unknown Raider. I just saw it. If we lose this weekend, do you think McDaniels will be fired? No. No. Why would Mark Davis do that? It wouldn't make sense. I appreciate the question. The optics don't look good, but that will not happen. There will be reevaluations. Some players might start to be traded, and play calling duties or something might go to somebody else to change it up. But Josh McDaniels will not be fired. I love you guys. Thanks for chiming in. Please call the hotline after the game. Let me know your rants for next week's show. I'll try to have a post-game recap video on Monday or Tuesday, depending on my health. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for the donations and Super Chat. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell for notifications when I go live. Thanks for tuning in to today's Raider Football Talk. Have your guys self a blessed fucking weekend. Take care of you and your family, and give each and every one of them that you love a hug. Let's get a big victory over the Broncos. I love you, Raider Nation, truly from the bottom of my heart. Let's fucking go. Let's get back on track, and let's play Super Bowl winning football. Josh McDumbass, let's do it. Put together the plays that work. Get rid of the razzle-dazzle shit and play basic football and let Derek Carr make some plays, call some plays, and read some coverages without your micromanaging. And we're going to be all right. Plus defense, get your shit together. Let Max Crosby blitz. Get Chandler Jones in there. Start blitzing more. We can handle this shit. Let's fuck up Russell Wilson. Mr. Limited. I'm Mikey Raider. I love you, Raider Nation. For James Furpo, Anthony Ruiz, AJ Raider, Unknown Raider Guy, Nick Hill, All Eyes on G, Fluffy Comfos, everybody else that tuned in for this entire long show. Brian, everybody, Sick With It, Tupac, JC Raider, Michael Dominguez. I love y'all. God bless. And I'll see ya